everyone to part two of this long stream today. It's been fantastic. I'm not going to lie, it has been fantastic to be speaking to you guys, letting you listen to Warren Barton on tonight. What a great guy! I can't praise him enough for coming on my show as well. So very much thanks to for Warren for that. Also, yet again, I must sound like a parrot to you guys, but what I say is please give below. We're up to £100. I'm led to believe. I've not checked it in the past uh, half an hour, but we're up to about £100. So we've only got £50 left to hit my target, and that's been wonderful. And we keep saying uh, we are the Geordies, we are together, we are a one fan base, and the generous Geordies as well. We are great people. We are all great people in the Northeast. I don't think that gets said enough. Um, if anyone is watching this in London, in New York, anyone is watching further abroad, Australia, it's we are a big place, but we are a close knit community, and you find that everyone knows each other because we do all know each other, and even more now with all these podcasts that everyone does. We've come even closer as a fan base. So yeah, thanks again. As I said, it's in my description for the link. It's also on my Twitter page, Iceman_9talk. Please give, even if it's £5. It all helps, and to get us to that 150 mark. Any more would be brilliant. I'm not going to lie, it would be brilliant. But I'm not asking the world here. I'm not asking you to give thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds. There's no one can afford it. But what we can do is pull together as a fan base and give to something that means a lot to a community as well. And what I do love is we have, and we always will do, and we always will be together in this. And we all know people who are struggling at the moment financially, out of work, not getting the benefits cut maybe, got kids, or they're struggling to feed the children as well, which is terrible, and no parents should be put through that. I have once or twice, been struggling for money and struggling for likes to feed my children. I have 4 kids, all girls, unfortunately. But what we do is we are a family, and we get by and what we can do. But any help can be massive to someone else's lives. So anyone who's watching who's going through this type of adversity, if you want to call it now, I think that's a harsh word, adversity. Um, it never sounds right, it doesn't sound good, does it? But at the same time, if it's a position that you can be in, and you feel there's no way out, and you feel like there's you don't know where to turn. I've been on these podcasts. I've been on Steve Wraith's show. I've been on Geordie Talk. I've been on Big Team Chat, who's new to the game. Great fella. Please give him a watch, give him a like, give him a sub as well. There's so many out there, and it's a great, it's a great thing that we all do this as a fan base, because it keeps us connected. We're all possibly locked in our houses, no jobs, feeling down, feeling, it's a terrible time. And once this pandemic does win, we can all get back to normality. What I'd like to do is to be where you are, and to buy you all a drink. Not that I can afford, 52,000 fans, I wouldn't be able to afford to buy everyone a pint, but people who are, converse with, and people who are, it's no stretch. And we'll have fun times. We'll get into a beer garden or into the grounds and watch our team play. I know not a great amount, but with a table over the club, things can look up. New manager, we'll all be bouncing again, and that's what we strive for. That's what we want. That's what we strive for to get this takeover. If it's not this takeover, it'll be another one. We've never been short of takers for a club like ours. We are a big club. As much as people saying it, it really annoys me that we're no longer a big club. We've got to be happy where we are now because we're not a big club. But we are. Like I said earlier, we've got 52,000 grounds, 53. It's massive, and when you go out there and you feel the roar and you feel the tensions and the elations, it's such a great thing to be and such a great feeling as well. Walking up them steps onto the Gallagher end, there's no feeling like it. Finding your seat, if you're a regular goer. I mean, the last time I was out, I searched for my seat because it's not often I go now. Because I live in Derby now. I'm taken away from that, and unfortunately, I don't earn a lot of money myself. Um, so the only time I can get to watch a game is I visit my folks maybe once, maybe twice a year, and that's the only time I'm taking a game. I know it's sad. I know it's terrible. I should be going to every game. I should be going to every away game as well. Which, well, a lot of fans would tell me I'm not a fan if I'm not going to games. But you've got to have the means to do that. I'm not going to get myself into debt just to go and watch a football game, unfortunately. But I say again, we are a big community. We are a big club. We've had fantastic players during the years. We have had fantastic players, and that shows the calibre of the club. Even if you look at some of the players we've signed, even during Ashley's time as the owner, we've had St Max come, good player. He was drawn in by the club. He also had a video I remember. I must find it and bring it up tomorrow, possibly. On my stream, find the video. It was done by NXT TV, and it was Gini Wijnaldum coming out, the players' lounge, out into the ground, and he was on his phone typing away, and somebody went, well, have a look, and he looked up and he says, wow, what a ground! This is great. I want to be playing, in front of this crowd. If this is going to be a good place to play. But unfortunately, we did go down that year. We lost a lot of players, the likes of Sissoko. As much as people disagree with Sissoko, he was a good servant and he was a good player. Okay, some people say Sissoko he played only when it mattered to him, but still a good player. Went to Spurs. Ronaldo went to Liverpool, and both got to a Champions League final between them. So they're not bad players, and that's what we have to say. And over the years, I mean, we've brought in Ginola, we've brought in Shearer, we've brought in Ferdinand, we've brought in the likes of Gillespie. He wasn't much known back then, but after watching him play for Newcastle, what a player! And also, you had Warren Barton come in, England international also at the time. It was fantastic for us. We still had players like Steve Howie came through the youth squad. So that's sorry, I've got a comment here. Oh, hello. Hello, Mr. Mitchell. Yeah, sorry, mate. Miss Warren. Just got home from work. Well, I'm sorry, mate. You've not long missed him, to be honest with you. I mean, we finished the stream with Warren about, I think it was about 27. Lovely bloke, fantastic lad. Is always speaks fondly of Newcastle, and also his time at Derby. We talked about his time at Derby as well. Uh, he was a person who just enjoyed playing. He enjoyed being part of the dressing room, and part of everything. I mean, his time at Wimbledon, the crazy gang, which we mentioned earlier on. People, he says most of the players that played at played at Wimbledon, they were nuts, really. They but they were a tight knit team, and it wasn't as much talents that won them games. It was like Warren said, it was just a close team, and that's what got through games. And they may get the odd draw and then the odd 1-0, and beating Manchester United and Liverpool and the likes. So it was brilliant with today and tonight on the stream. Down to earth guy said, he's happy to help anyone out. He's happy to do what he can do as well for fans, people on podcasts. And I'm not going to take that away from him. I really enjoyed having him on. Great guy, like I said. But yeah, we've asked if we can get him back on at some other point. He says, he'd just message him and see what he can do, which is good. And then also, what I meant to ask him earlier, as I totally forgot, he said he might be able to donate an item towards the cause. So what I'll do is I'll message him again on that. Let you all know tomorrow. Hopefully that might give us a few more donations on the on the Just Giving page. If anyone else has any more questions, I'll be happy to answer them. At the moment, like I said, to write everything down, just to make sure we're everything right. Oh. So I'm just waiting for Mrs. Nine to join the stream. We'll be doing till midnight tonight and carrying on the other 12 hours tomorrow. I've not checked the news. What I'm going to do is check the news while both me and Lee are on. So if there's any news, if anyone else has got any extra news they want to give, comment below. There's not much to say. I mean, I've done already. I've done 13 minutes of this one. Did 7 hours. Just over 7 hours in the last one. And we've had Stephen on. Great. I didn't know about Rob Lee passing. You've lost me now, sorry, I'll have to check it. There's been deaths. You've had Glenn Rowley pass away recently in the last couple of days. Sad time, from the likes of Newcastle, West Ham. Great service to each, and he was captain as well. So thoughts go out to friends, family. And, it's a tough time for anyone to go through this. Also, with deaths and having maybe limited people at funerals or limited, maybe no people at funerals. We don't know yet. Whatever Boris Johnson says, unfortunately, we can't do anything about it. Yeah, I am shattered, mate. But it has been good. I've enjoyed every minute of it, mate. It's been an education, not just with with Warren being on and some of his stories during his time as a player. It's also been speaking to the likes of Holly, who was on with me on the stream with Warren, and also Stephen, John. They all have really good opinions, and their opinions matter. The same as your club there, David's in Derby. Everyone can't agree on everything. Is Wayne Rooney going to come good as a manager? Are you going to get this takeover finally? You're in the same boat as us at the minute, mate. It's uncertainty, and it's going to boil down onto the fans, and the fans are going to be anxious and restless, and also get you an autograph. Well, I can only all I can do is ask, mate. That's no problem. But as I'm saying, we're in the same boat in this. BZG, they tried to buy Liverpool earlier on. I think we've also looked at Newcastle. Sorry, I'm just doing it because at the moment I don't know anyone new. My mum's in hospital still. She's been there for about a month, bless her, a little over a month. It's a bit difficult at the moment. I mean, me living in Derby, I can't get well. I couldn't be even if I was back up north. I still wouldn't be able to see it. But it has been difficult at the moment. It has been emotional. Trying to keep everyone in the loop, trying to make phone calls, trying to make sure the whole family's in the know. I can't say it hasn't played a part in me at the moment. I've been stressed over it all. So hopefully she pulls through. She's doing much better now. Just hope that we can get some light in the tunnel and get her back home as well. Yeah, sorry. Just give me 2 seconds because I meant to. Sorry, guys. 3000 and especially if your friends about to give up. I've only got 7% left. That's pretty charge. What's happening? Yeah, honestly. But like I said, I've enjoyed every minute being on this today. Yeah, it has been long. I'm not gonna lie, it has been long, but I'm doing it. I'm doing it for. Well, thanks, Stephen. Stephen donated £20 to the cause. Thanks very much, Stephen. Good lad. So that's as far as I can tell, it's 130 maybe. I'm not sure if there's anyone else that's donated so far, but thanks very much, Stephen. Glad to have you on board. If that now, possibly another one. Sorry, guys, this is very rude. It's all over. Family, unfortunately, we all have our ups and downs. Sorry about that, everyone. Where were we? I think that's all. Well, yeah, being on the Warren, it was just an honour, honestly. And if you want to watch it back, what you might have to do, you might have to play it because I started the stream at 12. Warren was on from 6, so you'll have to fast forward 6 hours. You don't. I don't know whether you want to listen to me waffle on. But I've had Holly on, I've had Stephen on from Jolly Talk. I've also had John on from John Sinclair on his channel. I've had questions and comments from Newcastle Fans TV. Um, it's been great, and we've had, we've had a good time. I don't know whether you guys have, whether you've enjoyed me waffling on. Unfortunately, possibly for the next 4 hours, you might find I will be. But yeah, what we're doing is at the moment, just to bring that up, every donation we get, we will put your name in a hat with a raffle ticket. We will be raffling off a Mother's Day Avon gift set for the second prize. And the first prize, I will be donating or giving the winner a shirt or a football shirt of their choice. So if anyone wants to give, I will be drawing those tickets, and I will be taking names and addresses for where to send the shirts. So yeah, and also raising so much for the food bank. It's something I wanted to do. It's something I felt, not that I had to do, but it's something I feel very strongly over. I feel strongly that people are struggling at this time. People are, like I said earlier, struggling to feed the kids. It's going to be a good thing for the food bank. So any donation to the food bank, it makes a massive difference. It makes a massive difference to somebody else's life. Like I said, I've gone through not adversity, but I've struggled from time to time, to pay bills and struggle to pay for food for the kids. But I have had help. I have had help from my mum, my gran, and other family members. But sometimes, someone feels like they can't. They feel maybe pride and sometimes can get in the way. I know it can because I'm like I said, I'm just happy to be able to put a roof over my kids' head and to feed them and have nice things. So from there, I'm doing this for them. I'm doing this so people know that there is people out there that care. We do care. Of course we do. Any city in England and in the UK, we all have a food bank of some sort, and it helps so many people. And it's just nice to let people know that we're thinking about them. We're always. I worry. I wouldn't expect people to worry about me. But it's you have got people out there who you can reach out to, and people who will always be there to help. Going back to Newcastle, what we might do is we're going to get Lily to do a little bit more of her questions, anagrams and stuff like that. If you want to join in, the last one was good. We had Stephen. They'll answer most of them really, but I think David Mitchell. Last time we did this, I think you answered a few as well. But I'm useless at anagrams. I really am. But hopefully, we can get a bit of fun, bit of joy, bit of questions in there. So, and I think she's got some questions as well to ask you. So I think it's just general football questions, so if anyone can answer them. Comment. Just waiting for her to come because I don't know where she's gone. I think she's gone out the door. I'm not sure. It's been a very good day, and thanks to everyone who has donated and been watching. So far, I think I'm on to something like 200 views. So that's brilliant so far from me. And I, my last ones have been um, around 1,000 views. So I love that. And if people like my shows, I don't normally do this long. So I normally do like an hour or 40 minutes. It's just a quick question and what's going on in Newcastle or maybe going on in the world of football. So trying to find other things to talk about is always difficult. I mean, whatever you want to talk about, bring it on. Politics at the minute, Boris Johnson is a parrot in my eyes. Honestly, he really is. If if we reacted quicker to this pandemic at the start, I think we wouldn't be where we are now. But we left it and left it and left it, and the next thing you know, it's all blown up. We didn't even lock it down once it all blew up. You know, it was everyone can have the last hurrah at the pub. Yeah, but that's what spread it even further. Um, it's been tough for everyone, and we will get out of this hopefully. Um, you know, the R numbers are going down. I think it has been a hard slog for everyone, and not being able to see family as well has been hard for a lot of people. So what we need to do is just be hopeful and play play by the rules, play by the stipulations. Uh, so we can get back to normality as quick as possible. We can see family, we can see friends. You know, we can go to the pub and have a pint together. That's what we want. We want to be back on our feet. We want to be back into work. We want to be back. You know, going to football stadiums, going to any sporting event really. It's uh, it's what needs to be done, unfortunately. And the quicker, like I said, the quicker we get back to normality, the better. We can all rejoice and we can all stand and have a pint and sing to the rafters, whatever we want to sing. Let's all do karaoke. I mean, I sound terrible doing karaoke, but I'll really do it. You know, I'll even stream it so you can all laugh at it. What I would like, also like to touch on is the other stories around what's going on with Steve Bruce. Is he going to be sacked soon? I've heard different things that he could be sacked in the next week or so. He had that spat with Graham Jones after during the Wolves match. A lot of people think it's nothing. I think there was something said that Bruce didn't like, and it's something that we don't want to see as fans. We don't want to see people at war. You know, we're going off with fans at war with each other as well. I mean, on Twitter at the moment, it has been toxic at times, but what we want is for people to get along. You know, like I said earlier, people have their opinions. You're allowed that opinion, but let's not be nasty. You know, you're allowed to say, well, I don't agree with you there, but what, this is what I think. And that person can say, well, yeah, of course. But there's no need for swiping it for the fans, and that's what we want. I mean, I don't think it's just exclusively Twitter. There's some Facebook, there's some Snapchat. It's become really horrible, and it's. I don't think it's what these platforms really should be used for. Let's not spread hate. Let's spread some positivity on there for a change. I mean, I'll probably get people popping up on my chat saying you just to talk to that and wanker, and do I care? No, because you can't hurt me. You can't piss me off. You can't upset me. It's a fact that why did we do this? And like I said earlier on, it's probably frustrations during this, obviously being out of work, not being able to see family, during this pandemic. Of course it is. Everyone's frustrated. Everyone's upset. Everyone's got problems as well, and people have mental problems as well. It's depression. Depression plays a part in a lot of people's lives at the moment. And not that I'm saying it hasn't always, but at the moment with pandemics and lockdowns, it's we need to be more vigilant. We need to be looking after these people and looking after them. Just to make sure they know that there's someone out there for them, there's someone to speak to. Um, so please don't use these social media sites and social platforms to get at people because you don't know what who you're actually speaking to, or what their backstory is, or what their situation is at the time. But, you could be knocking someone on the edge, and I hope that people don't get the jams off that. I really do. I hate to know that people think that is funny. Right? It really isn't. You just made someone take their own lives, and it's not. It really isn't. And I will rant about this day in day out if I have to, and I will do because I find it disgusting by people who think that's okay. So I'm going to hand you over for a sec to Mrs. Leanne Talk, Mrs. Lily or Lily, which one she wants to be known as. she gets many. She gets wifey at home, so so what I'll do is hand her over. I think she's got some questions and some anagrams as well to give you some questions. So I'll pass that over for now because I need to make a nature call, unfortunately. Oh, gosh, tired, yeah. I did homeschooling this morning, which is already tasked my mind before I even come on here. Start at 12. I mean, I've done 7 hours already.
You've done 6. I don't know.
Well, okay. I've done 6. Well, I've done 6 hours. The wife's doing now. We've already done 32 minutes 55 seconds for this one, so going well, eating into the hours. So, like I said earlier on, what we're going to do is we will do 12 hours tonight or today, and then we'll carry it on for part 3 tomorrow. Because obviously I can only do 8 hours a stint over YouTube. On Twitch, which I'm also on. So if anyone's on Twitch, give the page a like, give the page a watch. If anyone's on Twitch and wants to watch on Twitch, that's on there. But I can stream for, I think it's something like 24 hours or 48 hours on that platform. So I don't see why YouTube can't, but there you go. So I'm going to pass you over once she comes back. She can do her questions. See if how many of you guys can answer.
Hi, Fraser stuck with me again now, guys. Sorry to be late to the party. I was just next door with the wifey. So, right there. Yeah?
So people get the wrong idea.
I don't care. Oh, I've left my pen. Right, anyway, sorry about that. So, oh, bless you. Oh, I haven't done those kind of shifts for a long time. When you come back up again, will you bring me my pens from downstairs from the dining table? I think. Pens. Right then. So, I'm hoping he'll be coming back up in a minute or two because we were supposed to be doing this bit together, but then I abandoned him to quickly nip next door to see my neighbour. And then, yeah. Right then, I've seen Stevenson's donated 2, so I will do your stripper raffle tickets. That's not a problem, my lovely. We will do that for you. Right then. Right, Mr. Mitchell. You have some competition when it comes to anagrams. Young Stephen here was very quick at solving them. See what happens when I'm not quite organised. Sorry for my touch, people. Right then. So, I'm going to write a few down for you. Like I said, I was meant to do this before, but then I went next door. I'm drawing on myself now. So the first ones are going to be players. And then we'll do teams. And then what I'll do is, it's not sports related because I couldn't find my sports questions because I was meant to be doing that earlier when I was multitasking. My mum bought us this for Christmas. It's a music quiz. So I thought, I'll ask some questions out of there and I'll sort out the sport one for next time. I love doing quizzes and questions and stuff. In fact, not that she's watching, but our oldest daughter used to do a thing through Spotify where she played an intro and you had to name the song or the group or the song and what film it was from. I was considering doing something like that, so I was actually searching earlier for music with regards to football. I also wanted non-football ones, so like, you know, Huddle and Model with Diamond Lights and stuff like that. But I spent ages just looking at the dodgy songs that were released by the clubs over the years. So yeah, that was a bit dodgy. Oh, I wrote the same one down. Oh, I thought I did. Never mind. So, my writing is shocking, people. It doesn't help because I'm doing this quickly so you guys can do it. But you're sat there thinking, bring Dominic back. What the hell is she doing? I don't even know if that's a word, but that's the anagram. I'm not doing that last one. I did before. I do apologise. So, I never quite know which way around to do this. So, anagram number one. Do you know, it might be easy to move laptop rather than me taxing. Is go get beers. Go get beers. Don't forget these are players. Anagram number two is lump on arse. Again, if Fanfuse is watching, these were what the computer suggested. I apologise for my language. Then we've got better boil oil. Better boil oil. A livid gonad. And bender rat. What I will do is I will quickly add them to the comments too. What's they for? Do you know what, Mr. Mitchell? If I could find their autographs for you, I'd send them to you because Mr. Moore don't deserve them. Oh wow! Go away. Gets one stupid footballer on and he thinks he's God's gift. So. Lovely.
Yep.
So, this is the first anagram. Can do. Anything. But hello, Drew.
Oh, what?
Yeah, and an hello. Hello, so, go get beers. This is an old player. He's not a current player. Jesus Christ, you is good. Impressive. Very quick there, Stephen. Okay then. No, I'm trying to multitask. I'm not doing it. There's a second time today I've attempted to multitask. Stop laughing at me, Dominic Moore. This is your next anagram. Oh, it's so not organised, it's shocking. Absolutely shocking. You lot are lovely. So that's your next one. see who comes up with that one. Yeah, I'm normally more organised than this. I really am. It's quite shocking that I'm not, to be honest. I thought. Well done, yes. Oh dear. See what happens when I try and. So. Yes, I know I'm going to get shouted at for saying that. Let me see what that is. So there's your next one. What did I miss one? So that's your next one. For those of you who are just joining in that didn't watch earlier, what we're also going to do in the next coming weeks, both on here, because Dominic stole my idea, and on my extra time talk, is what I want to do is. No, yeah, that is the right answer. It is. What I want to do is, and I've already put it. Yes, please. I've already put it out there on Twitter. So what I want to do is for the ladies, because I know that some ladies do watch and do interact with these shows. I am doing what I'm loving. Oh, sorry, that's next time. What I'm calling a fantasy football team for us ladies, and for the gentlemen, I'm calling it a dream team. So what we're doing is you're going to send me in your ideas. I did show mine earlier. Who one was that? Oh yeah, okay. I've already had some suggestions on Twitter so far for a fantasy football team. I think some of the ladies may have got it slightly wrong, but that's fine. So we were talking earlier. I've been into football since the early 90s. Yeah. For those of you that were watching earlier, I told you that I was introduced to football with my uncle, who was a Man United fan. Yes, I know. And my first football crush, as it were, was Lee Sharp. So obviously he's on my fantasy football team. So I had David Seaman / Stephen Harper for goals, because I just couldn't pick between the two. I also had John Shaw on my fantasy football team, PK, Dummett. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I'm probably going to change it slightly. So I'm putting it out there for you guys. Obviously, we have all kinds of we have all various supporters watching. I know for fact Mr. Mitchell is a Derby supporter, so if he wanted for his dream team, if he wanted it to be a Derby 11, that's up to him. I'll just put the thing in the cupboard. And Dominic did me his dream 11. So in goals we had Shaka Hislop. Yep, that is David Janela, well done. And then we have, this is going to be your last player anagram. So we had Shaka Hislop in goal, Warren Barton, Philippe Albert, Jonathan Woodgate, brackets when fit, John Beresford, Rob Lee, Gaza, Beardsley, Ferdinand Cole, and of course Shearer. Now I'm reckoning most people would probably have Shearer on their teams. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I had him in my fantasy football team. In fact, the first time I ever heard of John Shearer, I was at school, secondary school. I think there was rumours that he was signing for Newcastle, and my friend who was, I don't know if she still is or not, she was a huge Derby fan, was excited because back then, everybody had a second team, and hers actually was Newcastle, and she kept going on about this man, this god who was Alan Shearer. And I remember being on holiday and it being all over the back of the paper, he's come back home. So that was my first introduction to Newcastle, not as much as obviously being married to Dom has been my introduction to this delightful club. And what I would say, this is going totally off piece, and this is what happens when I don't plan things, is we have enjoyed quite a few holidays in the northeast, and for those of you that would be interested in doing it, it's not everybody's cup of tea. What I would say is that if you go to the Life Museum, it's not the Life Museum. It's the other one. Oh, I'll let you off, Mr. Mitchell. I tell you, I've been reading some of these anagrams, and it's shockingly bad. It really is. So we'll let you off today. And actually, I have to put this out there that on my fantasy football team, and I did say this to the people watching earlier, Robert Kozlik was on there. I used to have such a thing for Robert Kozlik back in the day. I'm not going to lie. And while in Morrison's, I accidentally ran him over with a shopping trolley once. Apologised, like to do, once and something, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, and then he turned around and looked at me and I was like, oh my god, I'm really sorry, I hope that doesn't interfere with you playing at the weekend. And yeah, and then a few years later I was walking through Derby Town Centre and I got clipped on my ankle by somebody with a pushchair who was about to say sorry until I turned around and he realised it was me, and then he wasn't sorry anymore. And I just think it's brilliant that the guy remembered me, and he's friends with Dom, and we have seen each other quite a few times, and we do talk when we see each other. So yeah, that's my claim to fame. I ran Robert Kozlik over Morrison's with a shopping trolley. So, but like I was saying, the history of Newcastle is absolutely fascinating, and I did it for my PowerPoint presentation, but not just that. I find the history of the club quite fascinating. I've just told my friend about what Sir Bobby said about the club, and it even moved her. And I'm not going to attempt to say it again because I was in tears earlier when I tried to say it. And but it isn't just. You okay? Do you want to come and sit and say hi?
I'll say hi.
Bless her.
Hi.
So she's borrowed my earrings, right? So we've gone retro in the Moore house. So Catherine is wearing Pac-Man. There's my friend's little lad just pointed out cutely, I've got the ghosts. So what I did do the other day when I wore them was I had like a Pac-Man one side and a ghost the other. So yeah, my friend's little boy was like, Lily got ghosts in her ears.
Great with that one.
So I had to try and explain to a 6-year-old what Pac-Man was. So that was quite interesting. But I think they look pretty cool. It's a shame you can't do them because if you do them, you have to wear them back to front.
Peekaboo.
Oh, look, and then we've got a little one. So yeah, I've gone off on a tangent. I do apologise. I'm probably boring everybody. So like I said, this is what we're hoping to do. So for the ladies, it's going to be a fantasy team. For you guys, it's your dream team. And like I said, you can make it up of a combination of teams. You can make a combination of past players, current players. It's the same as Dominic said. So the one he's doing, he's asked the goalkeepers today. I put my 2 penneth worth in. But yeah, it's interesting to see, and again, it goes back to the fact that we've all got different opinions. That at the end of the day, you know, who Dominic, Dominic favoured Shaka Hislop, and you know that's his opinion. You guys out there, we have a new contender for that anagram. Yep, it was Darren Bent. I just thought I'd throw that one in there, just because why not? You know, I mean, I mentioned it the other day when I was discussing my fantasy football, and Don rolled his eyes. I put Russell Holt. No. And he's stood at the bottom of the stairs shaking his head at me. You know, alright, Holt splits opinions. You know, you okay?
Yeah. No.
So these are like the baptism of fire when it comes to football and stuff like this. But I'm hoping to get the girls on when I do my extra time, and it's just going to be, oh my god, it could go anywhere.
Chaotic.
It really could go absolutely. When we tried to do my introduction to extra time, it was mental, wasn't it? Absolutely. But also, I reckon the kids should have a show as well. You know, mini nine
EDN
talks.
talks.
Mini nine talks. Doesn't have to be football related. It can be about what they want to do.
9 talk juniors.
Yeah, nine talk juniors.
9 talk
Junior
juniors.
9 talks.
Wait, number 9 talk Iceman juniors.
That's a bit long, isn't it?
Really long. Number 9 talk Iceman juniors.
It's alright. We're just like planning world domination and taking over your show, do we? I don't think it's bothered.
Sorry, Iron Man.
She's not sorry.
She's not sorry at all.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Right.
I love my daddy.
So, here's an anagram. I don't want no nasty
Daddy.
comments back.
Don't stop me.
So now we're on to teams. Hey, Tay.
Hi, Taylor.
Taylor! I'm gonna just quickly put this on. Here we are. My adopted daughter. Right, so this anagram, we're now on to teams. And I've just realised which one I picked first, and I'm liable to get a slap off somebody who's watching in the chat. Mr. Mitchell, no, I love you. I do. I just found it. Are you coming back up and sitting with your wife or what? Oh,
He's having his pizza.
He's swearing at me with pizza now. What are you on? Is it still number 9 talk on Twitch as well? Yeah. So there you go, Taylor. Dom's on Twitch. Yeah. Dom County. And Spotify. Yeah. So if you don't want to look at our lovely faces while you're listening to the dodgy ass podcasts that we do, he's now on Spotify. Don't laugh at me. Apple Podcast. Is there anything you're not on? I love this anagram. This is going to get most people giggling. Best anagram ever. Farting and cold.
Farting and cold.
I swear, that was the answer. See, farting and cold. That was the anagram.
Do you mean farting in cold weather? Or
I had to think that.
farting in cold baths? Or
You shush. Kids.
excuse me, we're lovely.
You are
Falling
amazing.
down the
lovely.
stairs. No!
Don't cross on the stairs.
That's what I mean, Charlie. You shall not talk.
Why are we quoting Lord of the Rings?
You made that child, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Gosh, no.
You're like, don't my sausage kids. And name over that.
You know that this is all being picked up, right?
Because we just don't care.
Right. So, we did that one earlier.
Trumping in cold.
I do need more one second. So you get the general gist. And there we go. And is that right?
Yeah.
Well done.
Woo!
Oh,
You okay?
Yeah, I've hit myself in my leg.
Wonder Woman.
What, right now? Hang on, Right.
Tickle time.
So-
No.
I forgot to look for an anagram of that name. That's what I was going to look for. I'll do that again.
What?
See if I can find one. I've got everything notifying me of stuff at the minute. I don't even know what's going on.
Oh, just sent you some messages.
I'm gonna have to move things. Here we go.
Here comes the big boy. Need to go.
I have strange children.
No, it's an old man.
Moving things.
Yeah, I'm coming. You love us. You're very weird.
Is that how we spell it? Before I put it in. Is that right?
Yeah.
Wait one second.
Really want to go over.
Well, I said earlier I was going to do it.
Drinking on beer.
Antagonistic
Hagen.
media force.
That's not an anagram. That's you describing them.
Mm-hmm.
You're done. I'll put it right now.
Ah! Love it. Absolutely love it. I can see you rolling your eyes from the side of your face. It's the best anagram ever.
About right for this person. So if anyone can get that,
That was one of the better anagrams, to be fair. It brought up about 90 anagrams for the room. Quite like that. You regretting putting me on your show now, aren't you?
Dickie Rusher. If you say it out loud, you probably get the right name. Because he is a dick.
Now.
I am going to swear.
What are we on now? You've come up with your Just Giving page on?
Mm-hmm.
What are we on now?
£120.
Woo!
So we're 80% there for what I need to give. If anyone wants to give any more, if they can, it's in my description on the show.
I swear it's cheating at me.
Ah, well done, Stephen.
Right, she can't get onto you Just Giving, but next door says she will enter the raffle. She's not bothered about the shirt. She wants to do it for the pants.
Proper woman, isn't it?
Bless her. Aren't you beautiful?
Well, yeah, anyone who's in the raffle, second prize is the Avon gift box. It will be presented a bit better, I will say. So whoever wins that, we will let that person know, get details of where to send it to, and also for first prize will be a football shirt of anyone's choosing. So
I donated. Do I get right?
Really?
So here and there, if you donate a £5, you're in the hat to win. So you've got to be in it
To win it.
to win it.
Are we actually putting the raffle tickets in your hat?
Which hat?
Your flat cap.
On my flat cap. Yeah, I think I've worn it once on
You've worn it
my
twice.
stream. I think. See, I have a problem with lockdown here at the moment.
His hairdresser's not done his hair recently.
I've kind of sorted it out from earlier on. I had a bit of a quiff for beer somewhere, But I had to look presentable for
Mr.
Mr.
Barton.
Barton.
I made an effort for Mr. Barton.
Because he was too busy multitasking.
Yes, I'll show my respect to Glenn Roder.
Yeah. As we said earlier, Glenn Roder passing away, and also Ian St. John. thoughts go out with friends and family. A sad loss to the sporting world.
The armbands this weekend then at matches.
Yes, they will be wearing black armbands. Will they be wearing them at West Ham? Because I've not looked. Can
Um,
anyone tell us that?
I actually already know the answer to that. Well, Musk asked me earlier. I did put that as a question on the show that I was watching, and it was in today's Chronicle that black armbands will be worn. for the weekend.
That's good, and it brings football families, well, the footballing families together. When black, white, claret and blue, red and white, whatever. When yeah, it did hurt. It went all the way to my soul. So yeah, we're all together, and we're all human. So we all give respect in times like this. I've seen a couple of messages on I think it's the Sunderland board, the Sunderland chat. Somebody tweeted the other day, and it was a very nasty message. Why? Yet again, like I mentioned earlier on, why have you got to do this? A family has lost, a dad, a husband. It's wrong. It is disgusting.
Do you know what I remember when that flight went down? And there was two Newcastle. There was other people, and obviously, but two
Cheers,
Newcastle,
everyone. Anyway.
two Newcastle fans, and both Newcastle and Sunderland did that thing at the start of the season where they both laid wreaths for the fans.
Uh-huh.
And again, that brought two
Rivalries,
rivals together, and it was just put aside for that moment of remembering what. And also that year, we went to Gateshead's first game of the season, and one of them used to go to Gateshead matches as well. And there's a very nice article. I think I still got the program actually.
So was that one right? Just to stop you in your tracks.
Dickie Rasher.
No, the farting and cold.
Oh yeah,
Was
Darlington.
that right? Was that Darlington?
Yeah, Darlington. Yeah,
Well done, Stephen.
yeah.
Are you looking these up? Honestly, because you've gotten every single one right, or are you just this? Have you got that brain in there?
He didn't get the Mike Moore one.
Oh,
Nobody got that.
that was me.
That was
But then not everyone knows my last name. So,
wow.
it's not now. Does my head in.
Didn't do one for me. I forgot to do my own outro. So, yeah, for next time. Right, there was that one that my mum suggested, right? My mum, who is 60, by the way, came up with that.
What the hell is that one?
Oral sex using ref.
Ref.
As a player/manager.
It's
No,
Oh.
he says he doesn't cheat. You cheat.
no cheating
We
involved.
proved this.
Jonathan Young, Harry
Yeah.
Hands Keys. Well done, Jonathan.
Maybe I should have put that in for the anagram predictor. Hairy hands.
Yeah, Hairy Hands. Yeah.
I wonder what it
Although according to, because I did watch the YouTube videos with Keys
is. No,
and
right, can I just
Keys
say,
and Gray.
he put it on the other night because he couldn't sleep. I come down the next morning and he was sparked out on the sofa, and they were just literally like getting to the end of the video and playing the next one. I had it on for 2 minutes and I had to turn it off.
Well,
Get bored.
Well, he mentioned about Newcastle fans call them Hairy Hands, and I think it was Gray that says, "Well, not anymore anyway," which made me chuckle.
Do you reckon he waxes it?
But this guy, he's obviously pro Qatar. Obviously, he works for beIN Sports, so of course, he's going to be against the Saudi takeover of Newcastle United. Of course, he is. But and the way I say it with the takeover, we've got to get this loggerheads with not only just the Premier League, but with Qatar as well. With beIN Sports. We can't take it away. We can't, say that they didn't steal.
Sorry.
We didn't steal, or they didn't steal rights and streams. They lost something like they said 3 years due to the piracy. And according to Richard Keys and Andy Gray, people lost their jobs over it as well, which I don't get. They're still getting subs from the MENA region, also from Australia, I think, as well. New Zealand, and also America as well. I mean, okay, America, I think you only get 3 channels or 3 or 4 channels, but you know, they're still whacking in a lot of subs. And I've noticed recently they've also put the prices up for their packages, so that it's bang at the water.
Yeah, but everybody's going to be going up because we have the what's its name?
Yeah, but that was like a couple of weeks ago.
Can I stop, right? My phone's had to stop because it's found over 1,000 anagrams for. And I put in Hairy Hands Richard Keys, right? And my favourite one out of all of them that came up, Andy Hackish hair dryers.
Andy Hackish hair dryers. Yeah, that's I quite like that one. I wish I could stick him under one of them the hair dryers you get in the salons and just leave him there. Honestly.
There's a lot of hair dryers suggested for hairy hands.
Yeah.
Candy hair dryer, Shaka.
Oh God, we're just getting worse. But what we'll do tomorrow, we'll give a few more questions tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll do that in the morning while we're doing. Or you're doing homeschooling. I'll print the questions out.
Yeah, because you know,
Okay, I've got one.
after I finish this, you know, I'm going to go to bed, get some sleep,
I've got one for you. Going back
and then
to
I've got to go do old school tomorrow.
going back to the true or falses from earlier. Pele appeared in a movie with Michael Caine and Sylvester Stallone. True or false? I have got questions, but they're not sporty questions.
And if it's true, what was the movie called? If anyone knows the movie name, comment.
I just got that out of my head. You nasty, 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 nasty man.
Right, I think it was a good film, but you know, it'll be a bit dated by now if anyone wants to watch it.
Have I watched it?
I think so. I have no idea. Yeah.
I have seen it. Yeah. Yeah, I know what it's called. I just couldn't. Dude, he's quicker than you.
Well done, Jody Top.
Yeah, it was true.
Straight in there. I tell you, are you an encyclopedia, or have you got one in front of you?
I've got questions, but I haven't got the answers. I will find one. You keep
Well,
talking
well,
to the other people.
Well, there was one you had up
I had
earlier
one
with kids.
earlier, I know, and I actually knew the answers.
We found a questionnaire because we were on Blunted Talks with one of his streams, and he come up with some of these. Who scored a hat trick against Argentina in 1947? You know, it was questions like that. I was like, wow. You know, not many people are going to know that, but you know, but what we can do is we can find some easier ones, hopefully, for you. You know, people say questions are easy if you know the answer, but you know, if you give something that was before your time, you've got no chance.
I was trying to hop an earlier tipping point from one, and one of the questions was, what did Kanye West and Kim Kardashian name their son that they had in 2015? And the options were priest, vicar, or saint, and the woman actually got it right on a whim.
Right.
But it's going back to what you said. If questions are only easy if you know the answers.
Yeah.
But watching it when the light comes out.
Well, but the only saint I'm interested in is St. Maximin and St. James's. Cathedral on the Hill. We all love it. We all adore our ground. There's a question to people watching.
Here we go. Carry on.
To people watching, it's if we do get takeover, what happens to James's? You know, would you be happy for to move out of St. James's and move into new ground? Because once we get this takeover, you're not going to be able to get season tickets for love nor money, or even just gate tickets. It's going to be really hard. So maybe we would need. I mean, not right away, but we may need new ground if this goes through. So, what would be your thoughts? You know, how can the club then show respect to the fans and show respect to the ground? You know, we've been in for many years. You know, sell the seats, maybe sell a slice of St James's Park. You know, would anyone be interested in stuff like that?
Well, it's one of those things where I'm going to be controversial again because obviously those who know you know that we holiday in something. There's that house, isn't there, as you're walking into Whitburn? They've got Roker Park,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that looks amazing in their garden.
Yeah,
They've got like the old seats from Roker Park, and I just think, especially again for the history of the city and stuff, you know, they can tell their kids, their grandkids, their great,
Mhm.
you know, and I just think that I'd want a piece. And Dave Mitchell, I don't know if Dave Mitchell is still watching. I remember when baseball ground got closed, quite a few people actually nicked pieces of the turf. I don't know if Mr. Mitchell did that, but I do know somebody who did do that, and he didn't tell his wife, and she opened the fridge and nearly died because the turf was actually in
In the
the
fridge.
fridge.
Strange place to put it.
Shouldn't he?
I'm going to make myself a coffee with with my milk and a bit of turf. You know? So if anyone would be, think, yeah, I'll have a piece of the hallowed turf, or
Would
maybe
you want a piece of it?
maybe buy your season. Everyone pays for their season tickets.
What, have
Would
a seat?
would you want your seat? Yeah, and maybe have it, with a plaque on to say, this was your seat at St James's Park.
But do you not think that the difference between the seats now, because like I said, the Roker Park ones are like the old-fashioned wooden,
Yeah.
Using our little plastic seat, which especially for the garden, not going to rot. But it just shows you how far stadiums have come.
Hmm.
over the years.
Well, at one point you wouldn't have even had a seat because it was all standing.
To be fair, I did mention earlier I have been to various grounds around the UK. Me and my mate went to watch Cambridge play Chesterfield, and the home fans at Chesterfield, they got seats. We had to sit on concrete, like staggered, like steps concrete, and it was freezing because I think we went November, so about October, November time we went, and it was. And I got my coat on. I had to actually take my coat off to sit on my coat because it was very cold in my shoe. Ain't gonna lie. My favourite stadium to go to actually is the International.
Ollie.
Oh hey ho!
Hope you enjoyed today.
Oh, she's
Well, she's a good girl. She's a nice lass. I thought, why not, give an opportunity out, and Holly being so, such a lovely girl and so open, I thought, why not,
Because you've done a few shows with Holly, and I've done a few
Yeah,
shows
of course.
with Holly, and for such a young lady, her knowledge is just,
Mm-hmm.
and she's lovely. She really is. And again, once lockdown, she's somebody else that I would very much like to meet and have a drink with and talk to.
Of course, yeah.
Newcastle.
Yeah, of course. We're always here, for anyone who's on the chat and then everyone who's been watching today. We're always here for a chat. If we're open people. I mean, not in a wrong way. We're not open in that way.
That's news to me.
But pardon,
Is there something you want to tell me?
we're not open in that way. What we are is we're nice people. We will speak to you. We'll not say anything bad about you. We'll not make it a big thing.
What you
To
see is what you
anyone
get, basically.
What you say, yeah, exactly.
I mean, you've just seen the kid come up on here. Our kids have no filters, which is probably a bad thing. I heard that, child.
See what I have to put up with.
Was that your grown-up response? Was it? Back. See. But what you see is what you get, and I think I've said to you on Twitter, being on Twitter, it's introduced me to some amazing people that I've put stuff on Twitter when I've needed a hand, and the amount of people that have come back and supported me is just, and with your mum, it's just been fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
Let's change the subject.
Where's Maxine Big Man shirt?
Because we're doing it as Mr. and Mrs. Moss, so we're sitting together.
No, please.
Ah, so
But
yeah,
this is fun.
we're always here for anyone who wants to stalk. I may have had one too many of them while I've been off, you know. So it's all that coffee.
Yeah, you have had quite a lot of
Coffee, yeah.
And you did have a proper filter coffee earlier that I didn't tell you.
Be the bunnies.
But yeah, I mean, talking to Holly there tonight. Talked to Holly before. She's been on my show before. Been on John's show with Holly.
Oh, I love John.
John, a lovely guy. Always got time for John as well. Stephen, Geordie Talk. You know, I don't mind shouting out these channels because, you know, as we've always said,
You'll get by with a little help with your friends.
Yep.
Hey!
as we've always said, yeah, we've connected as people that if it wasn't for these channels and if it wasn't for these platforms, we would never have known each other. And totally honest with you, I think that would be sad because I've enjoyed every single minute I've spent, you know, with John, with Sean, with Holly, with Sav and Kendall and Nathan. You know, the list goes on. In fact, if I haven't, you know, I mean, Pete, who was on my very first show. So if you want to go back and think, yeah, you were probably better back then, and now you're just a waffling git, you know. But what I'd say is, you know, that he was on my first show, and you know, he was so lovely and easy to speak to. He spoke very, very highly of the club and also very highly, you know, and he made me feel at ease during the stream I did.
And you know what I've found is you've all got different knowledge, you've all got different memories. I mean, obviously, we made the point earlier that Holly is obviously the newer generation that's coming through with fans. But the fact
I feel sorry for you, Holly.
The fact that she was able to talk to and be on the show with Mr. Barton, she shared me a very nice tweet to say that, you know, to have been a part of a show that had one of the entertainers on is just amazing. He mentioned VHS, bless her, she looked a bit confused when he
VHS.
said VHS.
Look back on the videos,
Right,
not DVD
the
videos.
you know, and again, like I don't pretend to say that I know everything. I don't know. Useless. I couldn't tell you statistics, facts. I could tell you how Newcastle United got its name. You know, I can tell you that, but I don't know goal percentages or possession percentages. But what I do know, I do feel passionately about, and I can waffle on and ramble on for absolutely ages. You know, whereas Holly does know these things, and Kendall's very knowledgeable as well. So it's nice that we all give our own perspectives. We all listen to what each other has to say, and I could listen to John talk for hours.
Yeah, we're
I love John.
talking about people like Sav and people who are Newcastle fans that aren't from the area and don't live in the area. This is bullshit. I'm sorry, I'm going to swear, it is bullshit. We are all fans, whether we're from London, whether we're from out of Mongolia. You know, we're still fans, and we still live passionately and think passionately about our club. So I don't see why, you know, people get into, you know, even Kendall, you know, oh, you're from here. You know, yeah, but I'm still from the area. You know, you look at Bobby Robson, you know, lived in Durham. What difference does that make? We're all a fan base, and please, again, think about what you're saying on Twitter.
I think now is the time to
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, because we are united as one. We are a fan base together, and it still says volumes. I think it's about a year old now. I think.
I love it. It's brilliant.
It's a brilliant thing, and it's something that we get behind as fans, and not just a regime. You know, we all hate Mike Ashley. We all want Mike Ashley to sell up and go. We don't want Steve Bruce in the club because he's just ruining possibly a good team as well. So, but that doesn't mean we can't be together as a fan base and speak on these platforms and to talk together and to be passionate about our club. Doesn't matter where you come from. So, gonna play again.
This isn't just about me.
It's not just about me.
Or me.
This is about you and me.
This is about us.
This is about everyone we connect with.
Everyone who makes our club.
Everyone who makes our community.
This is about celebrating what makes every one of us different.
Because that's what makes us united.
United as one.
United as one.
United as one.
Right. Also tonight, I did it at the start, so I'm going to go through it again. So keep my sponsors happy, unfortunately, but you know you got to do it. Football towels, you know, I love that. I would love one. If Football Towels wants to send me one, I'll gladly take it. There's the website. They're also on Twitter. If you want to give them a look for the towels. And they also come in a nice beach towel as well. So for the price you pay, it's pretty good. But if you put my channel name in the coupons part on the website, you will get 10% off. So bang on to them and pick up yours. Also, I have all my things mixed up. And you'll say Hotspot, makers of pin badges and posters. Great company who've always been good to me. They've engaged, and also my sponsors. Also, the badges are really good. You know, good quality, a bit like Toon Pins, who have also made recently. I'm not sure if there's many left, so you might have to jump on there to pick yours up. St. Maximin pin. You can see there, you know, that they're not your run-of-the-mill pins. They're, you know, good quality. They've sold quite a few. I'm not sure if there's any left, so you might have to go into their Twitter page, ask them. I'll go into their website, off their Twitter page, which is NUC Hotspot. So pick one up. We're still saying this. I think it's still at St James. I don't know. It's probably been taken down by now, but it says a lot. We can't keep going through with this and gambling, which Mike Ashley is doing. And if he keeps gambling the way he does, he's just going to ruin it completely. We'll go down to the championship, and then we'll probably end up like Sunderland, to be honest with you, you know, into League One and struggling. And we don't want that. And I'm sure he doesn't want that either, because he's not going to get his money from the club, is he? And it's only going to bleed money from the end. Glenn Roller, as we mentioned earlier on, sorry to hear about his passing. Also soon, Pride on the way to Newcastle.
Gonna take you to the Pride.
Always a good day out. United with Pride. Some of the groups there, and the groups from the Pride themselves. So yeah, as I said earlier on, not to make you sick, but
Oh, see, why did you have to go? We've been having such a good day.
That's the guy we need out now, and I'm sure he wants to be out.
He is.
Please do. Please get out, Mike. Sell the club. You know, you've got to be careful what you wish for, of course, but as long as PIF come back to the table and we can get this table done, it can only be a good thing. Callum Wilson, I'm not quite sure how long he's going to be out for much. You know, he did have quite a big injury, so probably close at the end of the season he shall return. Joe Linton, I think we should just cut our losses on now. Honestly, I mean, you had Sebastian Haller at West Ham. He was signed for 45 million, as far as I know, and then they sold him back Ajax for 25. You know, they made a big hit, but at the end of the day, if you can't get a player to do exactly what you want and to score goals, and there's no point keeping them on, you know, just picking up wages every week.
Going back to the Joe Linton thing, do you ever think that football, when they do the transfers, that you could have your money back like the receipt for United 28-day guarantee?
we can only wish.
Because let me just put it out there, right? This is going to sound really surreal. How do you think Liverpool felt when they brought Andy Carroll? Honestly.
Well, we felt good because we got 35 million for it.
Well, no, I know that, but I'm just saying, you know, we've brought Joe Linton and he's turned out to be a bit of a donkey.
But he's saying they're coming back. It's like a boomerang.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying though, how many football teams do you think wish they could have a money back guarantee when they purchase players?
Do you think it'll go to the last game of the season, or do you think we'll be down by then?
Honestly,
I think it'll be close. Looking at our running for the last 12 games, and looking at Fulham's last 12 as well, they've got to play more of the bigger teams like Man City, Chelsea, Man U, Arsenal. The list goes on, and you know they've got to play Southampton as well, who have been a bit off and on. But if you look at ours, you know we've got West Brom, Burnley, I think is in there as well, Villa. You know they are winnable points, but that's what we need. We need to be getting points on the board.
Will Grealish still be? Will Grealish still be off? Not playing by the time we get around to playing with them. Because I play Villa without Grealish every day of the week.
Yeah, I think they did well in their last game because Grealish didn't play in their last game, and they still won pretty well.
Do you know? I think Harry's right, and we said this earlier. Points here or there do not make a guarantee stay up. And Fulham seem to be, and we've said it all before, smaller teams, especially at this time of the season, seem to do better against the bigger teams because the bigger teams' foot aren't necessarily on the gas anymore. The flip-flops are on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I you know, me and Holly said this again earlier. I think if we are going to go down, it's going to be before we get to Fulham.
Mm-hmm. Well,
or it's going to be borderline, and Fulham's going to be. Do you remember that very last game of the season where Aguero scored that goal?
Yeah.
It's going to be kind of one of them.
Aguero.
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of them kind of.
Well, if you look, we've got 12 games left. If we draw all 12 games, we've got 30, 36 points, maybe 38. That's enough to stay up, I think. I mean, not that they are going to be draws, but you know, even if you win 2 games, lose a couple. Yeah, that would be ironic. You're right. Yeah, being an excellent player. We were in for him at one point, trying to prize him away from Sunderland, and it didn't pull off.
How many points did you say we got?
And he ended up going to where was it? He went to France. Was it Marseille, something like that? And then he went to Fulham after that. He is a good player. You know, we saw it with Sunderland when they were in the Championship. He is a good player. And I think for Sunderland at the time when he left Sunderland to leave, he was a big miss for them, and you know there wasn't enough goals. Yeah, problem with Fulham is they can't score goals. Yeah, but that sounds familiar there, Stephen. We struggle to score goals as well.
And our scorers.
But all we can say is, like I said, we've got 12 games, and a couple of them are winnable. So once we get them couple of wins, you know, a few draws, even if we lose something like 5, even if we lose 5, and then the rest are draws and a couple of wins, we're safe. I still reckon we're safe.
With 3 points ahead of Fulham.
Mm-hmm.
we've got 26 and they've got 23.
Mhm.
It is.
But are Fulham going to beat Man City?
Man City have run away with the title now. I don't know. Strange things have
Liverpool.
happened.
No, they do have. If you look at their running now, let me bring it up.
Please follow up.
Street fixtures. I did look at the fixtures earlier on, but I can't remember.
Well, you've had a bit of a stressful day, sweetheart. Do you know who you are?
Sweetheart matches. Right. So Fulham's next game is Spurs at home, Liverpool away, Man City at home, Leeds at home, and then they've got in April Villa away, Wolves at home, Arsenal away, and then in May they've got Chelsea away, Burnley at home, Southampton away, Man United away, and then us on the final day of the season. So that's one hell of a running, and I can't see Fulham picking up many points there. But then you can look at our running as well. There is a couple of winnable games, but not as many as what Fulham have, and I don't see West Brom coming anywhere near us, and I don't see what else is in the bottom. Sorry, I've lost it. Sheffield United, they're gone now. They're gone now, as far as I'm concerned, and even their owner, the sheikh from Saudi Arabia, said he expects them to go down as well. So I don't see it being a forlorn thing, but I think it will still be tight. But I think in the end we will still.
Can I just say though, what is the point in emphasising home or away? Because while there's no fans in the stadium, there ain't no home or away. It's.
Yeah, but it's also the ground that you used to.
Well,
play
no,
on
I
as
know
well.
that, and I get that, but some teams actually do better not at their own ground.
Mhm.
That
Mhm.
made more sense in my head. But you know what I'm saying though? They're saying that it's the 12th man that lifts the team, and we all know this. But at the minute, it's not important because there is no 12th man, which is good.
Well,
for
Holly
Steve
said
Bruce.
I predicted a 2-0 win for us this weekend,
Yes, you did.
but I'll let my heart make my decision on my head. Yeah, unfortunately, that's what we do. I mean, I did the league predictor from the Chronicle. I had a lot of pelters for it because I had a stand for staying up with 44 points, and a lot of people went, 44 points? Have you been on the beer?
I can't even.
I probably had been, but yeah.
I think
Right.
I went
Sheffield
4.
United, West Brom have gone. I think West Brom will give a slight push, but yeah,
Sheffield United.
But-
unfortunately, definitely not.
Fulham will be close. It will be close. I'm not going to deny, but I can't see them overlapping us, to be honest with you.
But I think we all put it as a win for us this weekend. I wasn't as part-led as on there. I think I said 1-0 would do me. I'll have to rewatch the show to see. But I think we all went.
1-0.
I think we all went on Leaders Night. I think we all went for a Newcastle win. I think we did.
Yeah, I think we can get the win over the weekend. I don't think it'll be a big win, but I think we'll nick it. Possibly Fraser to pop up, or it might surprise us, or Andy Carroll if he plays. You've also got Gale in there as well.
See, that caused quite a lot of controversy.
Hey, we could be even more surprised if it's Joe Linton and that puts the ball in the back of the net. Really,
Fraser assists Jimmy.
I think we'd all die of heart attack if that happened. Honestly, but yeah, I think it would be a hard fought game, but ultimately I think we'll have enough to take the win. Yeah, we'll see.
I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be very close.
Although in saying that, I thought we'd beat Wolves because the been a bit rocky.
And as you know, all us ladies called
You,
it.
you
All
ladies
us
said
ladies
1
called
up.
it, and we, yeah. And Steve was in on that.
Steve was the only one to put the bet on. So, Steve, I think you owe your ladies a bit of cash because they're the ones that called it for you.
Am I right in thinking we play Sunday this week?
Yes.
Yes, I get to watch the game this week.
12 o'clock.
Oh, so that means you're probably going to lose. Because I'm not working this week on Sunday, so I get to watch it. So that'll be fun. I haven't watched us play for a while now. So, yeah. Not that the kids like it when I watch the football. I end up developing football Tourette's, apparently. And I'm the one that has a go at all you lot for swearing on here all the time. But my language when I watch the match is absolutely shit. Saying that, when we went to watch was playing Spurs, oh my gosh. I think Dominic would thought I'd been possessed at that match. And who wasn't singing?
I was just in awe because she was. To be honest with you, she really enjoyed herself.
I enjoyed going out to the big market after the light.
Yeah, we went into Filthy's as well.
That bloke trying to walk up the hill.
We were in the Strawberry, we were in Filthy's, we were in,
my
where else did we go? The Nelsons.
That one there outside of Footy's cracked me up though. They were doing roadworks or something and it got the board in.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
that drunk bloke was
But yeah, it's always a good day for a match day. Everyone just gets drunk.
That was hilarious. We couldn't walk the ground, I couldn't get up the street because he was walking with his shoulder on the board or something. What a 20 minutes of enjoyment that was. That was hilarious.
But that's what it means to, on a Saturday. I mean, you all go out, you all get, a little bit tipsy before the match. You sup in your pints at half time, you sup in your pints at full time, and then off onto, the pubs, clubs, whatever. And that's where it means to be a Geordie, isn't it, really? If anyone can agree with me.
Well, we did that, not so much watching Newcastle, but that year we were up when we went and watched, I think it was Gateshead Torquay, and it was your cousin's birthday. So we were only going out for a drink after the match with your cousin. And I think my mum rang us at 9:30 that evening, asking us if we were actually going to be going home because we had to pack. That was quite an experience in itself. That was brilliant. That was. If anybody ever gets the chance, don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking the bigger teams, Like I said, look, if anybody does ever get the chance to go and watch Gateshead or
What was
Barnet or any of them,
what was everyone's last game they went to while we were allowed fans in the ground? There's a question. I think a couple of people would say, what was the last game we played before it was all locked down? Was it Liverpool? I can't remember now. It's been that long ago. I really can't remember. But yeah, we've been in this lockdown. We've not been able to go to the ground, which a lot of people these days, they enjoy going to the ground and they enjoy that camaraderie and doing the pre-match and wherever else. And unfortunately, it's all been taken away from us. But once we get back, like I said, we'll all be. What was it? Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. I remember now. Yeah. But it has been that long ago.
we were saying though, weren't we? It's been a really long ass year, but it hasn't
Well,
been
yeah.
at the same time. It's been very, very weird this past year, like how quickly the year went. But it feels like it's dragged at the same time. It's been a very strange.
I think we all thought,
Yeah.
Vanilla FA Cup 4th round at St James's Park, yeah.
Oh, I've got one to take off piece here. Have you ever been in your football shirt and been somewhere and wished you hadn't? I only ask this because we once played Villa and we won 6-0.
Mhm.
And it was the summer. And on this particular day, I got a phone call from where I worked at the time to say that I needed to get down there because my mum had took ill on her way into the shop. and she was being taken to the hospital. And I was sat in the waiting room at the hospital in my Newcastle shirt, and this nurse kept giving me a dirty look. And it wasn't until later that another nurse came to me and said, "Do you not have anything else to put on because you've just kicked his team's arse 6-0?" And I was just kind of like, "Does it look like I have anything else to put on?" And so, yeah, that was quite. And then,
Andy Carroll hat trick, I believe, if I remember correctly.
what's it? Well, I don't know, 'cause I missed like half a game, so I was going to the hospital.
Was it Joey Barton twice?
And then, of course, there was a year when we were visiting Madonna's mum, and some stupid idiot thought it would be a really good idea to go into Sunderland Town Centre on the day that Sunderland are at home in his purple, wasn't even a black and white shirt, which makes it worse. It was his purple away shirt, Newcastle shirt, and I think you bottled it, 2 minutes to kick off? Your mum dragged you in the Primark to get you a top before you got your head kicked in?
Well, no, it wasn't just because obviously I had my family with me. We were starting to get a few comments. So I thought, no, that's unfair to my wife. I mean, I was with my mother as well. Of course, a babe in a pushchair. So
You also had your weight.
they also had the work kit on. Yeah, so I didn't exactly bottle it, but it's but the best time I've been in that situation, I was in the Blue Bell in Sunderland. And that is predominantly the Sunderland club. You cannot go in there with another team's shirt on, otherwise you will get your head kicked in. And I went in there, went for a couple of games of pool, a couple of pints with my cousin, and ended up being chased away very, very quickly with a lot of fists being shaken. So, but it's that camaraderie. It's that. Yeah, it's that you've got to test it, haven't you?
Oh, look what I just found.
It was all fun.
I'm not going to get it up on the screen.
John Shaw. I don't know whether anyone knows who John Shaw is. He used to play for Gateshead. I think he was their top scorer for a while. We're good mates with John. I think he's at
Shields.
South Shields at the minute as a coach, but I think he still plays as a defender. So if anyone goes to watch Shields play, or
I'll tell you what I did like about that summer, just find that picture. They were doing all the different things along the seafront in summer holidays, and we took a photograph of three of our four girls sat there in a giant deck chair on the seafront, and we shared it with the Sunderland page, and we got 4 free tickets.
what is your non-league team? What as in what, Holly? What, here in Derby or in general?
Well, I've got a soft spot who's actually there, manager, Mr. Ely's. No, he's the ladies. I stand corrected. He is the ladies' manager, which ties in with what I was about to say. We actually won 4 tickets to go and watch Sunderland ladies that year.
Yeah.
But we were coming home, so we couldn't, unfortunately.
But if I don't watch Newcastle, then I'll be down the road in Gateshead. Oh, in general, yeah. Gateshead, because
Even now John's gone, I've still got a soft spot for it.
like during the international games, no Premier League, so of course I think a lot of us do go down the road to Gateshead, but you've also got North Shields there as well. You've also got South Shields. There's many to pick from.
Do you remember Gateshead played Blythe?
The Blythe Spartans, another good
And
team.
you got a set of brothers, both strikers, one on each team, and they were both still living at home.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, could you have imagined being in the house that day? Newcastle Blue Star.
Blue Star as well, yeah.
Is that the
Good
one that
shout.
Lee Clark?
Yeah, Lee
manages?
Clark, yeah.
Manages?
Clarky
Yes,
boy.
it's do, isn't it? I do want to look at. I am interested in them. I do want to actually give them a shove day.
Well, if you look, I mean, I actually had to giggle with Newcastle Blue Star. I don't know whether anyone's paid any attention to the prices of things. You can walk in and you can buy a Newcastle Blue Star shirt, replica kit, for £30, or you can go in and buy a season ticket for £30, and it didn't seem right to me. I did find it quite funny, and it made me giggle. But you know, we do have to give these teams a bit of love as well. You know, they are struggling for money, and without fans and without their usual game rituals, they are hemorrhaging money, and that's why a lot of these clubs are starting to lose their existence, really. I mean, you look at, it was the last one, it was Hereford.
Yes.
Also, there was another one recently, I can't remember who it was, but you know, we've got clubs dropping like flies just because they're not getting their gates at all, and you know, they don't get a lot of sponsorships. They can't have fans on the ground, so they're not selling hot dogs, they're not selling pints, they're not selling this, not selling, and yeah, possibly because obviously you've got to run floodlights if it's a night game. You've got to run stewards, even security. You've still got to run security around the ground. It goes on, and you're paying players, and it's just, you know, I've been to that game where I would see.
And I'll tell you what, Holly, do you know what I do like about these kinds of teams? Like I said, our friend John Gates said he'd play twice a week, and he still worked as well. This is one of the conversations.
Proper football players.
This is one of the conversations when I say me and Don will sit there sometimes and talk and express opinions. Don't get me wrong, I love going to watch the Premiership games, but look how much they get paid. I'm not taking anything away from them. They train, they do this, they do that. I'm not taking anything away from them, don't get me wrong. But the likes of your Blue Star players, your Gatesheads, your Hartlepool, some of these guys, as well as doing the football, are working normal jobs as well. And it just, to watch them play is awe-inspiring. It really is. Just the love and the passion. They play because they want to play. Do you know what I mean? And it's just...
What I want to look at for the last couple of hours, is there any games playing tonight? Because, you know, I've not given it. That's what I was looking at. I'm sure there is. But that's what I was looking at, you know, to give any score updates if anyone was interested.
I found a very interesting question in one of my quizzes that I found, but I never knew.
Well, today, if anyone doesn't know, it was Burnley 1, Leicester 1,
Oh, please say no.
Vidra and Ian Natural for Leicester. Sheffield United 1, Aston Villa 0. Now, there's a result. David McGoldrick in the 30th minute. At the moment, it's still 0-0 between Crystal Palace and Manchester United.
Ooh. I think Man United took the up the gas slightly.
Championship at the moment is Bristol City 1, Bournemouth 1. So that's Bournemouth coming back up. You know, they're in and around the playoffs at the moment, but they've not done what I thought they would do. I thought they would bounce straight back up. But of course, they lost Eddie Howe since they've gone down, so that was a big blow to them. So yeah, if there's also Sheffield Wednesday 0, Rotherham 1, Stoke City 1, Swansea 1. So of course with Swansea, we've got our Freddie Woodman playing for the moment. He's let one in, but still a top keeper. And when is he next going to be able to break away into the team? And if so, when, or is he going to? Once I'm disappointed that Villa didn't win. Yeah, well.
Is it right? I always hate this. Oh, a team's only got one player. A team's only got one player.
Mm-hmm.
Are Villa struggling because Grealish isn't playing?
Well, like I said, the last game they didn't have Grealish playing, and you know they put on a good performance. But yeah, I think sometimes they look to Grealish too much. He is a good player, but that doesn't mean he's got to be the only outlet in the team. The same with us, you know, with St. Max. Doesn't mean he always has to have the ball. It just means that he's part of our attack. and sometimes I think a lot of our players. What was that? Villa, they played Sheffield United. They beat 1-0. So, yeah, it's a good result for Sheffield United.
Sheffield United trying to get some points and something.
Still Crystal Palace 0, Man United 0. So we'll keep you updated with that scoreline. There's we've been through a lot of things tonight, and it's, as I said, it's been wonderful speaking to you all. Thanks to everyone's support tonight. You know, it has been a long, grueling day, and I hope I pulled it out of the bag by bringing on Warren Barton to the show as well. I know Holly enjoyed herself. I enjoyed it. There was many comments and many questions coming in. Many questions coming in. And
all right then, because I don't know if it was asked or not, I'm going to put it out there. Do anybody watching know what the term "man about a dog" actually means? Or waiting, just because.
Man about a dog.
You shush, you know.
I'm going to say a man about a dog.
Because I was so good, because I don't know if you asked him or not, and I really wanted to know if he knew the answer.
Well, I didn't get round to that question before. Yeah, but he'd gone before that question.
It was there for ages. You didn't press it.
Well, yeah, Villa are more than just Jack Grealish, and why people think that he is the be all and end all of it all is beyond me. He is a good player, I'm not going to deny, but Villa in 9th with 39 points.
Gee, what's the time?
Can be caught. Arsenal 10th for 37.
See what happens.
So the top of the table is Man City on 65, Man United on 51, Leicester on 50, West Ham with 45 in fourth place, Chelsea in 5th on 44 points, Liverpool in 6th. That's a shock. With 43 points, Everton on the same, both Merseyside clubs. And then you come to 8th, 39, which is Spurs, Villa on 9th with 39 points, Arsenal in 10th with 37, Leeds in 11th, 35, Wolves in 12th, 34, Palace in 13th, 34, Southampton in 14th with 30 points, Burnley at 15th, 29, Brighton in 16th with 26, and Newcastle in 17th on 26. Can move up the table. I mean, okay, our goal difference is minus 17. The only worst one between 14th and 17th is, well, not even worse than ours, is Burnley with minus 16.
So that aside, going back to that argument we had earlier.
And in the bottom three, Fulham, West Brom and Sheffield United. Go on.
The discussion that keeps being panned around about the top 4. If you look at that table at the minute, that top 4, top 6 isn't even the top 4/6 because they're all over the shop.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Arsenal can't call themselves a top 6 team at the moment.
And where did you say Spurs were 8th? No.
Spurs are 8th, yeah. Spurs are one of the vocal ones over our takeover. As far as we've been told, I've not getting involved with that one, but as far as I know, or far as we've been told, Spurs and Liverpool were the ones that were massively against it, and they also received letters from beIN Sports as well. So it's not on.
So this season there really isn't the top.
No. But as we said before, it's been a strange season. No fans. Teams up and down.
But you see, this is why people like the Premier League, though. That year, Leicester won. Nobody saw that coming. And it does. That is true.
Yeah.
Do you know what? You say that, and bless him, Liam Kennedy did actually do a whole show dedicated, and
I'm the one that's on the beer.
I know, yeah, I gave up alcohol for Lent. Stupid. And I do believe, if memory serves, Bruce, statistically, is our worst manager ever.
Well, he's the worst manager in the Premier League.
Under Ashley.
If you look at stats.
And for all we bitched and moaned about him, Pardew was actually one of the better managers under the Ashley regime.
Mm-hmm.
Go figure.
And everyone wanted him out. I mean, I like Pardew, but yeah, okay.
He did
got
lose
us.
it towards the end, though.
He did lose it
Assaulted
towards
a
the end.
player. I never realised that the incident where he assaulted a player, Bruce was also
The manager.
the manager of the team.
Mm-hmm. It was Hull City. If anyone can remember the player that Mr. Pardew assaulted, you get brownie points and. You know, you can see.
I know. I'm not bothered.
There's someone cheating tonight, and for once it wasn't.
Once.
It wasn't actually Stephen.
Oh right, I reckon Stephen did Stephen did win Blunt Ted's first quiz thing.
Yeah, he did. Yes, very right.
And then the second one, I lasted longer than you.
Yes, that's very true. Also,
And didn't Stephen come second?
yes.
See, so Stephen's
I don't give you credit to Stephen. Sorry, Stephen. My God. Guess who's popped up? David Mailer. That's right.
He answered that quicker than I can type it. I've got as far as which player did Alan Pardew?
Which player, Alan Pardew? Which player in an Alan Pardew? What?
Okay, you think you're so smart, Mr. Stephen.
Oh, you're in for it now, Stephen. You've opened a can of worms now. You really have. Because guess who's going to get it in the neck later?
Which Premier League winner's father played rugby for Wales?
Which Premier Leagues?
So this is a player who's won the Premier League,
Yeah.
but their father played rugby for Wales.
Harton.
I can see why you think that.
Actually, I didn't know that. Okay.
No, I thought Hartson.
Yeah, so which Premier League winner, he's won many medals,
His dad played rugby for Wales.
Wales. Now, I'm kind of giving it away there, but I don't think there's been many Welsh Premier League winners.
Makes you wonder why he didn't take up rugby.
Well, it's the same with the Neville's, isn't it? You've got Gary and Phil as footballers, and then you got the sister as
And isn't it?
basketball or netball. Whatever.
No. Yeah, no. Isn't it Gary's daughter now also plays netball?
Possibly. I mean, it's got to be influence from the sister. And then you got the Longstaffs. Their dad was a hockey player.
Different. Newcastle has a basketball team.
Mm-hmm.
Falcons.
No, the Falcons
Or is that the
are
Ice
the hockey, isn't it? Hockey
That's
player.
one of the basketball. Come on, Stephen, answer that one while you're at it. Multitask, boy, multitask.
He's too busy typing it out, man.
I'm telling you, he doesn't cheat. You cheat.
What was that? Want to see Ryan Giggs? Well,
Yeah,
like I said,
say it.
I give it away.
Say it. That is the correct answer. It is. It's Ryan Giggs. Exactly. All right then. Which football? This is a question I actually run from my quiz. Which football star has a constellation named after him? What's a constellation name? Oh god, no, it's a galaxy, wasn't it?
The Galaxy.
Which football star has a galaxy named Which reminds me.
Now, there's only one footballer who would have an ego that big to actually have
Well,
a galaxy named
I was
after
gonna
him.
say Beckham, but he played for
Actually, that would be a good shout. If anyone said David Beckham,
Galaxy.
I'll see where that would come from because he did play for the Galaxy.
Does anybody know how his team do it? Because
And he also played for Real Madrid, and their midfield was called the Galacticos.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Am I not right in thinking that his teams, because he poached Phil, didn't he? Phil's now his manager.
Mm-hmm.
Look up them, see how they're doing. Do you even know what his team's called at the moment?
No.
So if anybody could answer that question.
Even better. I mean, I've done so many hours tonight.
Oh, wait there. I should go and get you a violin.
So what is it? Right, we're on 9:30 now. Go on then. Ah!
That is actually the name of the galaxy as well.
Mm-hmm.
That is why he has that. Well done, you.
Telling you, he's got an encyclopedia or something from him.
Do you think, putting it out there, Ronaldo is better than Messi? This causes controversy.
That's
His own son thinks Messi is
every time Ronaldo's son beat Barcelona in a game, his son went mad.
Was it when he won the Ballon d'Or? He beat Messi. And his son was
yeah.
there watching it, and his son got.
His son
really
was in
upset.
tears.
Yeah.
No. What was the name?
Possibly do I think that Ronaldo is better than Messi?
Oh.
However, Cristiano Ronaldo is in my group fantasy football team.
I think for me, Cristiano Ronaldo is much better than Messi because Messi's only been at one club.
But also, he can do it Portugal as well.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, as much as I love Messi, you stick him in Argentina. It's how I used to describe our England players.
Mm-hmm.
Have them playing for Chelsea, United,
Mm-hmm.
they can do it. Stick them in an England shirt, and they're like
the lines.
them thick footballers that people describe. You know, football, really.
Mm.
Put Ronaldo in any shirt, and he can do it.
I mean, it's still painful to remember the Winker incident.
Yeah, see, he provoked that. He did something deliberately then. Did you watch that match?
Where else do you watch him off?
Well, during lockdown in the living room.
Well, yeah. Mm.
I like Messi, I'm not going to lie. He's not my favourite Barca player. I have another favourite Barca player. And Stephen was on earlier when I did my fantasy, so he should know who my favourite Barcelona player is. But he isn't my only favourite Barcelona player.
Mm-hmm. Andres Iniesta.
He was so sweet. He's like no feet tall.
But like I said, for me, Ronaldo's better. He's done it in England. He's done it in Spain, Portugal, Italy right now. He's won accolades with Portugal. You can't say that about Messi. He's only been at Barcelona. Okay, Barcelona have been a powerhouse for so long. They've won their leagues, which the Spanish league I don't think is as strong as ours. And also winning something with Portugal also, which is massive. And you know, you have the likes of there's some good players in the Argentina team, but how do they not win more things? Really, you know, you got the best player on the planet, but now for me, it's Ronaldo. So there we go. But Holly says Messi, and Stephen says Messi.
Vicky Moore isn't in the chats, but she will also say Messi.
Messi. So I'm outnumbered. So oh well. Not that I'm going to complain because they are both fabulous players. You know, a cut above everyone really, cut above, and you can argue till the ends of the earth which one was better, and you still won't get a definitive answer.
You're always going to have the players that split opinion.
Yeah.
We're going off. It's still sports. It's like Formula One drivers. You're always going to have you drivers as stuff.
Hmm.
You know, there's a lot of people out there love Lewis Hamilton. I'm not taking anything away. I think it's amazing what he has achieved. Don't get me wrong, but he's not my favourite driver.
Oh no, for you it's
No,
Max Verstappen, isn't it? Because you love it when he wins a Grand Prix. He has to buy his sister a present.
But no, I like I like Kimi.
I love that.
I love Kimi. I think it's brilliant when he shouts down the radio. If you ever go on YouTube, right, and Google drivers radio conversations, are really fun. I like Danny Ricciardo. Ricciardo is
Like
the
with
Almirola.
Vettel saying there was something swinging between his legs.
Yeah, that was quite cool. But don't you think Daniel Ricciardo is the Formula One answer to Almirola? Because they both smile all the time. Ooh, ooh. So come on, Stephen. Who is my favourite Barca player? He was in my fantasy team. And it ain't Messi. Although, did you know in Barcelona you would think the only person that plays for them is Messi? Because according to Vicky, when her and Tom went, everywhere it was just Messi's face.
Well, I'll tell you what, Stephen, for a start, I sent you a link earlier. Why don't you just jump in and just tell us face
Yeah.
to face?
And Holly, if you're not doing anything, why don't you jump on that?
Oh yeah, I can send her the link. It's no problem. You want to talk to John? Well, I'm not sure. I can send them all links. They're welcome to come on.
I wish Sam was on because she'd be bullying me into making buy me a bunch of flowers.
Probably.
Mother's Day in 11 days, you know.
Listen, I know I didn't put it in.
Mother's Day in 11 days.
I know it is.
Do I get flowers?
Yeah, that was a link to
See, you can.
Sean.
Oh! So, Fanny News has just tweeted the mascot's painted a picture of him. Has anybody seen him on TikTok? It's really cool.
Just give me a second, I'll send it out.
Try things out. Sweet. Does anybody else TikTok? Oh no, you didn't leave him with paints on the floor. Oh, he did. Oh no. Oh, Sean, man, what you doing? Oh my gosh. Any of you, if you're on TikTok, follow Fan Feuds and his doggy Denver. So he's decided to pour paint all over the floor for Denver to paint his mummy a picture. Only Denver started to eat the paint. So that was an effort. My pussycat painted when I left my paints out. Given that was by accident. And my grandma wasn't impressed because he painted like the conservatory. Oh. 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 I was going to say something then, I'll totally forgot what it was. Still got the music question box open.
Stephen on Hollywood. The links, if you want to jump in.
I think Dom's bored of spending time with the wife now.
No, because you're part of it. Huh?
Where are you going?
You'll have a cigarette.
He keeps abandoning me. Oh. I think he sent you the links. You don't have to jump on if you don't want to, guys. It's fine. But feel free. It would be cool to have other people on. We can have like an open. Ah, wicked.
Sean,
Cole says she'll pop on in a minute.
Sean, City, Martin.
But I'm not here tomorrow. I'm at work at 5. Fall out of Mr. Fan. Bet you've lost, and if you have, it would be funny. Send Ted a link. Ted a link. I'm trying to multitask. I'm just not doing it very well. Got that many rubbish things on my foot. Sorry, I'm being very rude right now. I do apologize. I'm trying to multitask. I'm not doing it very well. So, going back to the discussion of Messi or whatever, I don't know if any of you guys saw it or not. Dominic was saying to me the other day, you got Sergio Aguero's son. So right there, you've got an amazing, phenomenal footballer for a father.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. You?
Yeah, I'm alright.
Been in demand. Yeah.
I know, well, I'm just not doing much at the minute, so I thought I may as well pop on.
You might as well. Did you see that about Sergio Aguero's son?
No.
I got asked about. So you've got Aguero's his dad.
Mm-hmm.
Messi is his godfather. Maradona was his grandfather. And when he asked who he'd like to be when he grew up, he said Jamie Vardy. He wants to be like Jamie Vardy.
Oh, yeah, I've seen something about that.
And I was just like, that just tickled me. All these people in his Jamie Vardy.
Yeah, that is quite amusing.
Tickled me that. That'd be something our kids would come out. I'm telling you. So funny. I have to move because I live like upstairs. I've got a hole.
Oh, hi, Holly, all right?
Hi, you okay?
Didn't break my ottoman.
I'm not breaking it. It's because of the chair, there's not enough for two people, so we've got to. I haven't got the link yet. Well, I've sent. Jesus Christ.
You sent the link to Jesus?
Yeah, I sent the link to Jesus. What's Stephen on?
I don't know. He's watching you on YouTube.
I've sent it again, Stephen.
And I'm not reading.
No, I've only had 2 glasses. So, did you enjoy yourself today? You know, being on Warren. How many breaths did you have to take when I brought him on?
Yeah, it was really, really good. Like, I was quite starstruck, like Lily said. Like, honestly, it was just, I absolutely idolised that Entertainer squad. Like, it's my dream to have seen them play in person. I've met a lot of them at events and stuff, and I was just buzzing when Warren came on.
Hello.
Well, mister, where's your encyclopedia? You know, where are you getting all these answers from?
It's up here. It's up here.
See,
All in there.
Yeah, pub quiz.
Now then. 5 that's me.
He wants some more. Oh, he wants some more.
Oh my God, let me see.
Something
Well,
for
yeah.
my.
But yeah, it was a really good stream. I thought, you know, I didn't want to exclude you from it. I didn't want you to sat there, you know, to give you a question to ask.
To be honest, Dom, I've enjoyed watching you. I watched you most of the day, Dom. It's been great, like.
Well, I've been waffling
Nice,
on.
any bigger.
I have been waffling on, but you know, we've
Actually, a question about it. Just literally a whole quiz based on them
Oh,
two.
Christ.
I'm not going to find that one.
But,
Are you alright, Holly?
Yeah, I'm okay. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad.
Good.
We've been watching this all night.
I've watched the past 45 minutes or so, yeah.
Yeah.
should we watching back the at 6 o'clock possibly?
Probably,
No,
yeah. I may have watched it back once already.
See, I'm going to have to rewatch it because, like I said, I've got you guys in that ear. I've got Steve and the retro show doing in that ear. I was trying to sort out our kid's iPhone that she's locked at the same time. And I think I need to re-listen to the Warren part.
But we've been offered tickets as well, Holly. How's that?
Oh, I know. Like, honestly, that would be amazing if he came back to the Northeast and we got offered tickets.
Do you know, because when he did the anniversary show, that when Steve did that whole week of like ex-players and stuff, you feel like you could talk for hours. It's nice to hear them. They've all still got the passion when it comes to the club, and it's nice that just because they've moved on, they've never forgotten about it.
It's because they understand the club.
I just want them back on my show. That's all I want.
Why don't you ask him?
Sort it, boy.
I've tried. I can't get in touch with him, can I? He doesn't follow me on Twitter, does he?
Hound him. Just keep bugging him. That's what he did.
I didn't. What was that? What?
Mr. Nine. Like it. Mr. Nine.
Who said that?
Sean, you prat.
Oh, Sean. That being said, yeah, Sean. If you're watching, be back on at 12. I mean, obviously, I'm doing this in 2 days. My brain is frazzled right now, and you know, keeping me cool and keeping me head during Warren's stint, and it was. I had to take a few breaths myself, but we got there in the end. I think we got some good questions in as well.
Definitely. He was really
Yeah.
Still starstruck. Do you know it's weird because obviously, like in Derby, when I worked at McDonald's in town, we met some of the players had come in, and you get their autographs and stuff. I've actually got McDonald's trade liners with footballers' autographs on as well. But it's one thing to actually, it's something that you've idolised. It's a whole different. Yeah, I can understand why she got all starstruck. Busted.
I met John Bruce at the Newcastle match before. What? What?
My favourite player.
I got a selfie with him or not? Do you want to say that? Like, I got a selfie with him as well.
Oh dear, I was looking now.
And do you know if Ian Payne, he was there as well, who does the ITV show, on the news show, I don't really watch it, he was there as well, Ian Payne. I seen him as well.
Well, I've been in touch with a few others over the last couple of weeks. Like I said, I've been extra busy trying to get as much I could do as possible for today. You know, I got in touch with Steve Howie. Fortunately, he was busy for today, but he said he'd come on at another point. I've also been in touch with. I did message John Beresford as well, but I've not heard back. So, and Keith Gillespie as well. I have messaged Keith Gillespie. So, They're both yet to get back to me, but I did say to Warren, can you give them both a poke for me? You know.
You want
Oh, busy mates now, are we? You and Warren Barton, eh? Busy mates. Busies.
Have you tried
No,
Rob
Johnny
Lee?
Bezos. Sorry, say again there, Holly.
Have you tried Rob Lee?
Yes, but I could only tweet him. I couldn't get through on DMs or anything. So
I've
give him
met
another
Rob
try.
Lee in person, and he's honestly the nicest player I've ever met. He's so nice, so he's probably worth a shout. I think he would come on if he's seen the message.
Yeah, I'll have to give him another shout. I know it because I've seen on what is it where you get celebrity shout outs. But there was one
Cameo,
for Rob
isn't
Lee.
it?
There was
Cameo.
one for Rob Lee, and it was about £60 just for a shout out.
Oh my god!
It's still Cameo or something they call it. Cameo.
Yeah. Mike Loan was something like £160 just to say hello.
No.
Literally just to say
Yeah,
hello.
right.
It's mad. And then you got Warren Barton coming on and going, yeah, no problem. Yeah, I'll give you about 40 minutes of my time, you know?
Oh, that's what makes you get respect for them, though. Like when they're willing to do stuff just to help out with like local charities and stuff. It's really good. You respect them as a person.
It's cool.
And that shows them as being, you know, top-notch people. You know, they're willing to do, you know, something to give something back to a fan. Because obviously we as fans have idolised these players over so many years. You know, sometimes I think a player sometimes wants to give that back to the fan base as well.
Definitely. Like I said, Rob Lee's probably the nicest person I've met, and I've met quite a few people. I met Shearer and I almost fainted then, I'm not even going to lie. Like, even just seeing him in person, I was like, oh my God.
I think I'd do the same, Molly. I'd probably faint if I met Shearer.
Yeah. I didn't get to speak to him much. I said hello and that, but hopefully I get to meet him probably soon. I've met a lot of the entertainer squad. I've met Shay Given, Rob Lee, Peter Beardsley, Gaza, who else have I met? I'm probably missing some people off. Oh, I've met Steve Howie, Keith Gillespie, Kevin Keegan. How can I forget Kevin Keegan? I've got a photo of Bobby Robson from when I was a toddler. Kevin McDermott, Chris Waddle, quite a lot of people. Like I met Shola Amiobi and all that, and most of the squad. Got a photo of Modi Army. Quite a lot of players, to be fair.
Good on you. It's all
I've seen Carl Darlow, Florian Lejeune. I think I've seen Florian Lejeune. Federico Fernandez. I nearly got his autograph, but he missed me out and went to somebody else. I was gutted.
Oh.
I got his autograph as well, and he missed me out and went to somebody else. I said,
wave harder, wave harder.
The best autograph I ever on a shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And the players go, the best watch I have to put my hands in there.
Simon's shirt. Oh, what should I put in my hand? Yeah, okay.
I've seen Titus Bramble when he was at Newcastle. I've seen him, Titus Bramble.
No, but Bobby Robson was there, wasn't he? Titus Bramble.
Oh, I think I went up. My dad took us up Newcastle St James's to get me a shirt or something printed on my shirt or something like that. And he was looking to get into the club, but the door was locked, so he had to drive up to the main entrance to try and get in that way. I seen him drive up there in his car, but he had.
Bramble might have been before my time. When did he play for?
2004 something, that way.
Yeah, that's when I was like literally just born practically. So.
No, I seen him anyway. He looked very puzzled.
He was from Ipswich, wasn't he?
Yeah. We didn't exactly excite me as a fan, like.
Wasn't Kieran Dyer from Ipswich?
Yeah, Dyer's from Ipswich as well.
2002, there you go. And he ended up playing for Sunderland.
No. You're going to get sent off for Sunderland against Newcastle in the derby. And the 5-1 demolition.
Was he?
No. Took Andy Carroll out and everybody's waving him goodbye. All the Newcastle fans just waving him. Waving him goodbye. Bye. That was such a good game. That 5-1. We just demolished Sunderland that day. Like, didn't we? Absolutely demolished them.
Wasn't it near Halloween?
It was Halloween.
Yeah. I remember watching that in a Sunderland pub, like where I live, but it was a Sunderland-based pub. So, like, Sunderland fans were allowed in. I watched that Newcastle game in there, packed out with Sunderland fans, and one was stood. And when the 5th goal went in, he chucked his pint off the wall and walked out. And then some Newcastle fans in there go, "Way! See you later."
Some people take the rivalry a bit too far, though, don't they? Really?
Yeah, Kevin Nolan with that.
That's what Robbie Elliott used to do, wasn't it? He used to do the
Yeah, he did something like that. Yeah.
He was a good player. I think he's a forgotten player as well. We're on about forgotten players. Robbie Elliott, he doesn't get much of a mention.
Might try and get him on your show. He's on Twitter, isn't he?
Yeah. Why not? That's asking for a lot of them, you know.
Homeschooling, you're going to be trolling for players to come on your show.
Mm-hmm. But I've got a message from Warren to say, you know, thanks for having me on, and sorry I had to leave early. I says, look, it's all right, fella. You know, you've got your own time as well, and he had other things to do. So, you know, but he gave his time, like I mentioned it only.
That's the kind of bloke he is. I mean, he still, when I watched it there, he still speaks fondly of Newcastle. He still like loves the club in a sense, and he still talks like we and us and stuff like that. I mean, he hasn't played for Newcastle for years and years, and he still talks on it in very high regard. It's very, very nice to say with Warren Barton.
But he also says he misses it as well, doesn't he? So
yeah,
I think a lot of players miss playing. You know, people like Warren Barton and Robert Lee, they miss playing, they miss being part of that. And unfortunately, you know, you look at players like Gaza as well. You know, him not playing was probably a bad thing for him, because playing football was his life, and that's all he woke up, slept, eat, drink football, unfortunately. But he didn't have that path into you know, full-on coaching. He didn't have that path into media as well at the time, so it kind of was a bad thing for him. But now, I mean, great for them. You know, you got the likes of Warren Barton doing these thing with what we call it, Fox Sports. You've got Alan Shearer on Match of the Day. You've got Robert Lee, who does the odd bit on media. You've got John Beresford, who does BBC Radio Newcastle. The list goes on, and unfortunately, Gaza, I don't think Gaza had that, did he?
I think for a lot of them, when they finish, you're either going to sink or swim. And there's that downward spiral, unfortunately. And Gaza was one of the ones that unfortunately went in a downward spiral rather than being able to carry on and do things, unfortunately. I did like that interview we did see, though, with him and Vinnie Jones. That was quite, and Vinnie Jones said, you know, he's always got a lot of time for Gaza, and he'd be more than willing, you know, if he ever went over to America. And that's nice to see when you see, like, how on the pitch they're always at loggerheads, but actually...
Well, I hope so. Vinnie Jones crushed his nuts.
Well, yeah. No, what I'm just saying is that you had that on the pitch. They were the rivals, but actually, if you watch that interview to see how close they actually are, it's really nice to see just how close they really are. But then it made me think about, with regards to him doing what he did to Gaza, how many, because obviously Holly's like younger generation, so she's
now we're the lads.
She's seeing all this new way of playing. How many of our entertainers would make a 90-minute game now with the new rules?
Yeah.
Because not even Shearer would be on the pitch
No.
with the new rules. You know, and it just shows you how
Look,
much has changed.
that's what Warren said earlier on, wasn't it, Holly? You know, a lot of the crazy gang around that time, half of them wouldn't even be on the field. But
I
now
know.
with all this VAR and stuff, it's difficult.
I hate VAR. Like, I just think it takes the excitement out of the game because, like, sometimes you get away with something that you probably shouldn't have, and then it would just make the game like more exciting. Obviously, it could make it annoying as well, like when something didn't go your way, but it was just better. And then even now, it's like you're a bit like apprehensive about celebrating a goal because you don't know if VAR is going to like disallow it or something. I just think it's like rubbish. I would get rid of it, me.
I know. I don't think what it was originally meant to have been brought in for was like, you know, is it a goal, isn't it a goal? But it's now used for everything. You're offside, and like you just said, you daren't celebrate a goal because you don't know if it is going to be a goal, and it just ruins the match. It ruins the state of play. I think it needs getting rid of. It really does need.
Yeah, you're right. You're right there. I mean, it ruins the game. You could be offside by a toe or a fingernail or an armpit hair. It's just ridiculous.
An armpit.
Ridiculous decisions.
No consistency either. Something that might
No,
be allowed one match is actually allowed a week or 2 weeks later. I think Solskjaer was on that the other day actually with regards to there's no consistency. If you're going to have it, you need to be consistent. You can't keep chopping and changing what is and what isn't allowed. It's crazy. Oh, we have another donation.
That's just what I was checking up on.
I mean that West Brom Brighton match last week that was interesting. I mean we had Lee Mason said the player could take the goal, the shot, and he went in, and he blew his whistle a second later to disallow it. Then he allowed it. Players went back and disallowed it again, and he get 2 penalties and he missed them. I think West Brom used all their luck up in that one game, I think.
Yeah. The only time I liked VAR was when obviously we won 2-0 against Sheffield United away last season, and Shelby scored that goal that they didn't think would be allowed because the ref blew his whistle, but it was allowed. That was like mint that, but apart from that, I don't like it at all.
Yeah, I remember that, Ollie. I mean, they were adamant, Sheffield United, it was offside because when Shelby went through, he said, he's going to get a yellow card here, just continue playing. But players are told nowadays they can just play to the whistle, aren't they? Even if they think they're offside, they still put the ball in. Then you go back and review it, and then you say if it's offside or not. If they are, then you get a yellow card. If they're not, they give the goal like they did with that. Because he was clearly onside, Shelby. I mean, Carroll was onside when he headed it on, so it was just by the foot of the Sheffield United player that was playing Andy Carroll on. That's how it stood, and Sheffield United would have no complaints about that, I don't think.
Not at all. I remember that game, like, because I was there, and I don't know if you've ever been to Bramall Lane, but there's like a sheet kind of thing above the away end, so that it's like people like above chuck stuff down, like it won't obviously land on the fans. And there's a screen above there, so all of the Newcastle line was like ducking down to try and see over the top of this sheet to look at the screen for the VAR check. And then when we seen it went in, the place just went mental. And I know you're not meant to have drinks and that, like out in the outside the concourse, but everyone did. Like there was just, I could just see beer just flying everywhere. Everyone was soaked. It was proper good beer, like, to be fair.
Change of clothes needed.
Oh, yeah. It's true though, it's supposed to be helping the game. If anything, it's ruining the game. Because like it seems you said you're supposed to play until you hear the whistle.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it takes them a good long time before they realise that they're checking VAR, and it's just
like with Shelby. I can't remember who he'd scored against. I think it was Sheffield United, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Sheffield United.
Yeah. And he played to the whistle, and a lot of people go, he's offside. But when it was checked, he was well onside for the goal.
Then they brought it in solely because of
issues
with is it a goal, isn't it a goal? And now it's being used for more than just that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's stupid.
Well, we've got goal line technology for is it a goal or isn't it?
Yeah, but then they don't use that. They go take it to VAR.
VAR.
It's goal line technology doesn't know if it's a goal or not.
Yeah. especially when it's switched off.
Well, yeah, there is. There is that.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. It was all the way over the line. God, how did he not turn that on? Villa could have been relegated just for that decision.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, remember it. How can you not remember to turn the goal line decision thing on? Shambolic is the word that comes to mind.
Well, what they're saying is, if that goal had stood, Villa would have been relegated.
I wish.
Well, it would have been. You look at the season you're having now. You're having a great season, Villa.
I hate it. I can't stand Villa.
No, I hate it.
For what they did to Newcastle when relegation was at probably win on or get a point or something on the last day of the season down at Villa Park the first time, and the way they were celebrating, sub on the time, all that, who's your next Messiah, Ant or Dick, that's why we have this hatred for them. It was just totally uncalled for. I mean, we were relegated. I mean, it was a sad day for the club, and Aston Villa fans just rubbing it into the Newcastle fans. I didn't like that at all. I mean, I was disappointed, yeah, but
I know.
That was Damien Duff's fault.
Sunderland, but not like Villa, because like it's not even like until then they weren't even a rival. It was just a bit bizarre. I don't know why they did it. It's obviously worse the next time, though, because then obviously it was Sunderland that sent we're down, so we'll not talk about that one.
What was it 6 in a row? Jesus Christ!
Oh.
Yeah, they like to make it known that it was 6 in a row. God.
I know. It's like I like to make it known that it was 6 seconds to go and they lost the playoffs, but I'm not sitting banging on it.
Oh, that's the best comment tonight. That.
He's gone.
I'll dip my grave now.
That was a good moment when you lost that playoff final in the 94th minute. That was great. That just
I know.
good.
Yeah.
I was in Eldon Square at the time, and I like remember just loads of people started cheering in Eldon Square, like, and I was like quickly checked my phone. I was like, oh, they've lost it, but honestly, I don't know why. The thing is, what about Sunderland fans, right, is you'll go on social media and you won't even have to check their profile to find out they're a Sunderland fan, because they'll have hashtag FTM in their name or hashtag Puts in the Row. And I'm like, get a life, you're like 40 years old, stop.
So
Yeah.
me and Holly have just been tagged in a tweet by Chris Davison. He's tagged you, me, Sam, and Kendall in it. And Craig Hope, the lovely Craig Hope, is reporting exclusive. Matt Ritchie calls Steve Bruce a coward during training ground showdown as NUFC boss barges into player who tells Bruce, "You've done fuck all for me." Ritchie and others furious with Bruce's blame for Wolves' goal. Full story. So, Chris would like to know what our thoughts are on that.
Get in, Matt Ritchie.
First time he's spoken out against his manager, though, is it, Matt Ritchie? He's known for being quite vocal.
I love Matt Ritchie. I love his passion for Newcastle, Matt Ritchie. He's probably saying what all the fans think. That's what he does. He's passionate about playing for the club. I mean, I've always said this: you don't blame your players for individual errors. You don't single players out for individual errors. That's just shocking. It's a team game. You shouldn't single players out to do that. And what he said there, he's bad. Matt Ritchie's well within his rights to do that. I fully support him. I'm sure he'll get support off Twitter by thousands of Newcastle fans just for saying that. Because, well, that's it. That's my thoughts on it. So I'll go into another rant. You know what I'm like.
Workmen should never blame the tools. I'd have loved to have actually seen that.
I'd have clapped him. I would have went like that, mate.
You know what, though? If that is true and Richie's done that, then he's just gained more respect from me, because nobody's like challenging Bruce like, apart from the fans, which obviously we can't really do at the minute since we're not on the ground, he's just allowed to get away with what he's doing, and he shouldn't be, because it's disgraceful. He's just willingly sleepwalking into a relegation, not doing anything about it, couldn't care less, embarrassing the club and himself in the media. And you know, there's no repercussions for it. So if Richie's went and just put him straight, then good on him, because somebody needs to. At the end of the day, if no one else is going to defend Newcastle, then Richie may as well step up and do the job.
Definitely.
I always like Matt Ritchie. He's passionate about the club, and to say to him, said, "You've done fuck all for me." And if he goes further and he said, "You've done nothing with this club either," I'll go further. I'd just let rip. He said, "Don't play me. I couldn't give a you know what. Don't play me." He said, "But I'm just telling you in your face. The fans don't like it. I mean, the players don't like it either." He said, "Pack your bags and do one."
Totally.
I
I mean,
the problem is now, is that going to cause a backlash between him and Shelby? Because we said earlier about how much Shelby thinks the sun shines out of Bruce's eyes.
I'm just going to say that. I'm just going to say that.
If Richie's now saying that, this is now going to... We've already said that Bruce is chucking the players under the bus. That is obviously why Richie's come out and said it, because let's face it, he lobbed Richie under that bus the other day. But now we're going to have... Is there now going to be an issue between them two? And if it is, are we going to have fisticuffs on the pitch again like we have done before? We'll know the players I'm on about. Is it going to cause issues during training now between them two?
It was Dyer and Lee Boyer, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a good game.
I had a problem if Matt Ritchie just went up and smacked them one.
well, I think most of the players will be on Richie's side, because, like, I think majority of the squad can see what Bruce is doing, and they don't have respect for him because he's not very professional. But obviously Shelby, because if there was another manager here, or if Rafa had stayed, then he wouldn't have been getting game time. So that's why he loves Bruce so much. But I think most of the players won't be a fan of Bruce. Honestly, though, I think I agree with Richie. Even if he does get dropped, like, just say it how it is.
Pretty cool Blakes.
And then the irony that the reporter actually breaking it is Craig Hope. And we all know what Bruce feels for him.
Yeah.
So this is going to be quite interesting, isn't it?
Are you calling me a liar?
I'm calling you a liar. What was the final score for the Man U game, did you say?
0-0.
Man U 0-0. It's not looking good for little Ollie Gunner, is it?
No, it's enough to get them keeping in the top 4, I think.
Right, my Twitter keeps going off, so it's sending my...
No.
my wrist keeps going
Vibrating.
crazy,
Yeah.
So what's
Not
your
good.
thoughts on Matt Ritchie saying what he said? Would you
Well,
like to show you what he said?
I can't see it being a surprise. I would expect a lot of the players to be saying the same thing. I expect Jamal Lascelles to be going to Steve Bruce as club captain and saying, "Look, this can't go on. This has got to change." And what we're getting is half a message here, half a message there, and it's only been a detriment to the club on the field. And honestly, I mean, we've just said there it came from Craig Hall. Yes, to the fans as well. But if that's what's been said, then good on him. I expect players to voice their concerns.
Samantha on Twitter. If this bust-up story is true, I've now decided Richie is my favourite current player.
I think it's everyone's favourite current player at the moment.
It's gone absolutely crazy. I hope it is true.
Look at that. I applaud Matt Ritchie for what he said. I've no... He's going to... This is the beginning of the end for him, I think, now. Now he's had one of the senior players have a go at him to say... Call him a coward and all this stuff. It's the beginning of the end for Bruce, I think, this. He's going to have all the players turn against him, and he's not going to want to play for him. He should do the right thing and go now, because he's lost the dressing room months ago, man. Even on his bad run, he's lost the dressing room. And Matt Ritchie saying all this, he just confirmed what us fans already knew. He just lost the dressing room. He won't get it back either. No. For what he's done to the club over the period he's been manager is nothing short of shocking. having to bring in another assistant coach to try and help him out, to try and get an attacking team to play football. I mean, he's supposed to be the manager of the club, not Graham Jones. He shouldn't need. How many assistant coaches he want? That's his third coach. He's brought into the club. Well, he can't do it himself. He's just inept, and he throws players under the bus. Dubravka, Lewis, Richie, Joe Linton even throws them all under the bus. I mean, it's just not right. You don't do that to your players. That's how you shatter the confidence. You need to stay up, and he's there. He's just ruining the club. Sorry for ranting. Sorry.
No. But I think the problem is Mike Ashley's not going to pull the trigger, and no one knows where Penfold has gone.
Yeah. Lee Charney's on about. Honestly, though, even when like fans were at games, I never knew where Lee Charney was because he's never doing his job. That's for certain. It's just he's basically getting paid for nothing. I think it'll be interesting to see Bruce's press conference before the game. But I'm looking forward to. But I don't know how you feel, but I honestly think Bruce just doesn't even care if we go down. Like, I honestly don't.
The way I say it is, Graham Jones has given the orders, barking, whatever he can. But then Bruce has just stood there, and we mentioned earlier on, he just stands there and hopes that it all comes together. And that's not a manager. We need someone who's going to be vocal with these players. We also need them players to also be vocal back, which we just mentioned with Rich here, if it's true. That's what you want. That's what he should, should he be captain now? Because he has spoken out. He has said, this has got to now change.
Well, Bruce will be armband, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was slapped with an armband.
Probably.
Full stop. Yeah, I absolutely hate the man. I've never hated somebody as much as I hate him. I've never hated a Newcastle manager as much as I hate him. He just infuriates me. I just can't stand him. I can't stand listening to his press conferences where he talks to such a load of you know what. God. And standing on touchlines with his hands in his pockets, expecting to pluck a result out of thin air. Absolute clown. Honestly, God.
I asked Dom and Lily if they thought would go to the last game of the season or if we would be relegated by them. What do you think, Stephen?
Oh, I'd hope we were already safe by then. If it was to go to the end of the season, the last game of the season, we need a result to stay up. It's going to be a very nervy game. I don't think I could watch that game. My heart would be going 10 like that all the time.
But we'll still end up watching it.
I know, Dom. Put yourself through torture.
You definitely do.
I watched that where Gutierrez scored the goal to secure survival against West Ham. I said, no, never ever put me through that again. And it looks like they might put us through it again. God. Bloody club attack. I love it. I love this club. But the anguish he puts you through, he should come with a health warning.
Unfortunately, I think we'll be down by then. Like, before like we had Wilson, St. Maximin, Almiron out, I said I think we'll just have enough to stay up. But now with them injuries, I just really, I try to always be positive, but lately I've been so negative because I just can't be positive about it. I just think we're gone, and I just don't see any way forward. It's the first time for me as a Newcastle fan where I just don't see a future for the club. Unfortunately, it's just really sad times.
Yeah, completely. It's like we said earlier on. Also, it's the way. It's the way that everyone feels at the moment. We're going through these motions as fans, knowing that the next 5, 6, 8 games could seal our fate. And how many of them players cares at the moment? How many of them players want to play for the club? Who wants to save the club? Who wants to to give 100% now, because obviously the likes of Bruce, the likes of Mike Ashley just sucked everything out of it.
Yeah. Sorry, Holly, go on. No, you tell.
I was just literally going to say, like, that's why I think it's probably best to bring in the youngsters, because they'll have more care and more passion than some of the players that we've got in the squad. Because, like, obviously they'll be wanting to prove themselves and try and get more first team football and, you know, make a name for themselves. Whereas the likes of Shelby, who's been at it for years and probably hasn't got that long left, he couldn't care less. I could count on one hand how many players I think we've genuinely got that could care. Probably Dubravka, Richie, Carroll, Hayden, Shaw, Fernandez, but you know, there's not many that you could say genuinely care. A lot of them just want to get a payday and leave.
Yep, Stephen.
Yeah, I think the writing's on the wall for Bruce. Now he's had a senior player tell him what most people exactly think of him. I just think his position is going to come out untenable, because it's going to be even in training now, it's going to be not a nice place to be. There's a sense of atmosphere between Bruce and Richie and knowing what's going on. And the other players saying that it'll affect them. But as you know, with Newcastle, it's like one big happy family, is you're led to believe. But since this is broke tonight, with Richie having to go at Bruce, well, I think it's gonna player power always comes into effect, and so many players speak up up for Richie. Bruce will become untenable. I mean, the higher Mike Ashley will probably say that. I don't know if he will or what. I don't know, but if he says that, he knows the players aren't going to play for him. Then he said, right, Steve said, I want this takeover to go through. Said, I don't think I can do it with you as manager. The players hate you, in a sense, for what's been going on with Matt Ritchie. Said, I need to keep this club in the Premier League to get my 350 million, whatever it's going to be. So I just think we'll pay it up to the end of your contract and wish you good luck for the future.
Yeah, totally there, Stephen. You hit the nail on the head there. I think you both have, honestly. What we're going to do now is I'm going to let you go for tonight. You know, it is getting late. I don't want to eat into your bedtimes. So I will bid you good night, and hopefully get you on tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'll be all right. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on, guys. Thanks for your time.
All right. See you later.
Thanks for donating as well.
Yeah, it's no problem. See ya.
See you, mate. Cheers.
Yeah.
Just going to take a short recess. We'll be back in 10-15 minutes maybe. Just a couple of problems at the moment. So keep watching or flip over and come back, whichever. Thanks very much, and thanks for donating, whoever's donated tonight. It's been wonderful. Thank you very much. Hopefully we can get to that 150 mark, and hopefully maybe a little more. So see you in a sec, guys, and I'll be back.
Think before you tweet.
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 Please just think before you tweet.
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 This isn't just about me.
It's not just about me.
Or me.
This is about you and me.
This is about us.
This is about everyone we connect with.
Everyone who makes our club.
Everyone who makes our community.
This is about celebrating what makes every one of us different.
Because that's what makes us united.
United as one.
United as one.
United as one.
Right, tonight we've had a couple of problems on this end. I may have to cut off the stream for tonight. We'll be back tomorrow at maybe an earlier time, just to make up the hours missed tonight. So I think we've only missed about an hour and a half. We can make that up for the 24 hours. So we'll be back at 12. So thanks for watching. Thanks for everyone who interacted tonight and posted their donations. Posted their donations, and yet again, thank you to everyone. Very much thank you to Warren Barton coming on my show. It was a scream. It was such a laugh. Such a nice guy. Such a down to earth guy as well. Thanks to him yet again. I really enjoyed it. So I will say good night for tonight and see you guys tomorrow. Thanks very much. Number 9 Talk out.